Sit down. Everybody remain seated where you are.
Hey, man, so you put me on?
Yeah.
Then why isn't alcohol made illegal? Flowers and grass. Like juice freaks get. Hangers and cirrhosis in the liver. Besides, grass doesn't have it for me like alcohol.
Besides, that cigarette's much worse.
Right, man. As much as you want.
There's nothing wrong with grass. Yeah. 1,000 times. You'll never go to harder drugs.
Don't take any films of me. You're not going to use them anyway.
Well, speak your mind then.
Okay, I will. No one has the right to tell me what I can do with my own body, where I can eat, drink, or smoke. This is a free country, and no one has the right to take away my constitutional rights.
It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Question all the things that you know. Steve likes the weed. Steve likes the weed. Tell you about DMT. The DMT. Hoosier Sophisticate Show. The Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Hoosiers with the dream. Sophisticated blasphemy. It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Question all the things that you know. So let's set our minds free for the singularity. It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. The Hoosier Sophisticate Show.
Good morning, friends. Join us and start your day with a gentle meditation from Hoosier Sophisticate. Let us all remember, we are only as good as our last breath. Close your eyes. Breathe in slowly. Let your breath out slowly. Again. In. Out. Again, even more slowly. In. Out. Try to imagine that your stresses, your anxieties, your deadlines are rolling off your head, down your shoulders, down your arms, and falling away to the floor. Find a calm center inside yourself. Keep your eyes closed. You are awakening from a deep, very restful nap. A sleep filled with delightful dreams. As you awaken, you see the sky, blue, sunny, white clouds scuttling to the horizon. You're lying on your back in thick grass. Sitting up, you look around and notice you are sitting on a high hill. Around the top of the hill is a neatly trimmed hedge. You smell the grass, meadow flowers, the fresh breeze. Birds are singing. Standing, you walk over to the hedge where you've noticed a white gate. Putting your hand on the latch, you lift it and pause. Anything could be on the other side. You swing the gate open and walk into the morning of November 24th, 2050. You begin walking down the path, each step taking you deeper into this new world that is the year 2050. You look down the hill and realize that every goal you had for 2050 has been achieved. The best and highest hopes that you had for the future back in 2020 have all been realized. 2050. It's so different from 2020. What do you see, hear, smell? You walk down the hill further into this changed world. What is a day in 2050 like? What does the community towards which you are walking look like? What are people doing? How are children playing? Where are the elderly? Where are people working? What are they wearing? What do you hear? Voices? Animals? Running water? Engines? Can you smell gardens? Cooking? What else do you hear? What else can you smell? What are the textures you see? As you wander through this community of 2050, you look for what it is that makes you happy. You look for world peace. You look for sustenance. You look for overall health and better education. And you find it. What is it like? Take 15 minutes to fully explore what that utopia is for you in 2050. And when you're ready, draw, diagram, or verbally summarize your vision.
Hold on, bud.
So I don't have anything on.
Anything on over here? Too early for that shit, man. Good morning meditation, dude. I almost lost my shit.
I appreciate you coming in and adding.
It was all about cum. Who knew? That whole meditation on the glistening hills of cum.
Good morning, everyone. We got
Good morning. Hey, everybody. Good morning. If you're listening to the other garbage radio stations out there right now,
Yeah, what are you doing?
I listen to them on the
nerd.
way in the morning sometimes just to check it out. Hey, what are they doing? What are they doing? Oh, they're copying our day in history.
They are they?
Even though they've been doing
We
it
were
a
the
long
first ones
time.
that have been-
Yep.
that
And news articles, they copied that idea off of us.
What a bunch of bastards.
But I hate There's nothing more in this world that I loathe more than when they do fake phone calls on the radio. Because when I was younger, I used to think when they said, oh, okay, we're going to get Craig on this line, and then we're going to get, he can call Steve and say, hey, they
Is that
want
all fake?
You can't call, it's illegal to call someone on the radio and them not know they're on the radio. So all those calls you've ever heard, where they call somebody and it's like a prank deal.
Don't do that.
It's all set up.
It's all bullshit.
Which I used to actually think, I was like, man, this doesn't feel right. Something about this just doesn't feel right.
What doesn't feel right? Like there was one where this guy, he banged this dude's mom, his bully in high school's mom, banged her mom. They hooked up on. Did you hear that one? And man, she was into him, and he had pictures of her doing the funky donkey. Okay, she was getting it. All right.
He must have had a wide angle lens to get the old funky donkey
I did.
in there.
You didn't get the whole funky donkey on
fish
camera.
eye.
What are you doing your regular job? You should be a cinematographer, bud.
You got talent.
No doubt.
Yeah. So, and this morning I was listening to the. God, whatever's on 107.7 it's called like the Bunky Show.
I think I
Hey,
honestly,
it's the Bunky
I honestly
Show.
have no frame of reference.
Me neither. Before like this, I remember when it was like Steven DC.
You kind of troll
I'd
through
go
to see what the voices of the morning sound
Ricky
like.
Smiley, he's actually one I don't mind, and he
What about Sweat Hotel?
the Sweat Hotel comes on in the PM because
yeah,
if you
we
turn
Do
that
that
on
in the morning. We
AM,
can't be
you
having
morning
girls
babies.
pollution this early in the
gotta
morning.
get your galoshes
Sweat, give me
out.
some money, girl. And I'm like,
Yeah, give me $1 million, girl. What? And then I'll buy you things with it. Okay.
We got all kinds of people in the chat.
Oh my
Get
God.
that shit off of here. Every time
Oh,
these
get it
guys
off.
come
What
in
did they
here.
do? Every time they're like, yeah, people want to see
people
us
wanna
on a
see
camera.
me.
People
People
want to
wanna
see us
see
on camera.
me.
No, they don't. No, they don't. So this morning on like the Bunky Show. Hey, man, it's me. It's a new guy. He used to be on 96.3. He's probably going to be the #1. Remember the fucking guy? He did the thing. He was the country guy. He's still Bobby Bones.
Okay.
Bobby Bones. We're the Bobby Bones Show.
Okay.
God, can't stand it, dude. So now they got a guy that's Bunky. Bunky, what's up, Big V?
His
What's
name's
up, Kush Coach?
Bunky? Dude,
What's
we got
up,
a lot
Blonde
of,
Man? What's up, Jessica?
growing fools in here. You know what?
Well,
you know
get
what?
ready, because I'm growing some heat, dude.
Dude, I'm so
Some
juice free.
heat, dude.
I'll tell you what,
My
guys.
Cody lead-ins are falling off, bro. The Cody lead-ins are falling off.
What's a
bro.
Cody leading?
It's the two little.
The two like opening leads.
I call them Codys.
Okay.
Because, you know, I kind of know.
Okay.
There's a two, you know, you plant your seed, and then the first two things that pop out are just these little leaves that don't look like weed seeds.
Yeah.
Or weed leaves. They just
Ah,
look like little roundies.
some asshole leaves.
There's little roundies. Yeah.
Little
Get them
fucking
out of here. Get 'em outta
ovular
here.
leads. Out of here.
And then those will fall off. And then you got those marijuana-looking leaves, and I got them growing up.
You already got little marijuana leaves?
Yeah, I do.
Get the fuck on out of
Like
here,
four.
dog.
Like 4 of them.
Dude, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
Anyway, the Bunky Show, and we're going to get into the weed thing here, all you freaking
yeah,
weirdos.
Big V's going to be 81 in 2050. I like that the Kush Coach, you know how he sees me in 2050? Smoking a cannon in a spacesuit.
In 2050?
That was
He'll
the-
be 81? I know it's from your meditation, but I assumed
I'll be
Big
76.
V was like 80, 85 already. So, Big V, actually, I like his look. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a nice circular head.
He's got gorgeous eyes, too.
Yeah, he does.
I
I
mean, he's
know.
got
Like,
great
blue eyes. I
He's
know,
got
man.
great- I'm a light-eyed guy, too. You're a light-eyed guy.
I
Those
know.
brown-eyed freaks.
Freaks.
Except for my
dude.
wife. All the rest of you is
Yeah,
though.
die. All the rest of you
All
can
you
die.
brown-eyed weirdos. Get the fuck out of here.
So they get on there and they're like, okay, we got Raul from the gym. And he's like, guys, I don't know what's going on. I gave a girl my number at the gym. She gave me her number. And I went over to her and said, hey, do you need a spotter for your pull-ups? And they're like, that's weird. You know, you shouldn't do that. That's weird. And he's like, oh, I was making a joke. So then they call the girl, right?
Sure. That's what I would do.
He's already a terrible actor, so they call the girl on the other line, and they're like, so, hey, how you doing? She's like, hey. And they're like, this is Bunky from the show or whatever.
Fucking bunky every time.
Every time. And she goes, oh, my God, okay, this is wild.
Yeah.
And then they go, you know why we're emailing you, yeah? And she goes, yeah, I just tuned into the show. So I've been listening to the show. I'm like, well, then why were you so surprised that they called you. If you've been listening
You
to the
big
show,
fucking
you
liar.
fucking liar.
You fucking
You're
liar.
trying to- This is a farce.
Fucking liar.
This is a morning radio show, and this is the farce that you bring to the airwaves. So then I had to fucking turn it off because I couldn't stand this chick's lies. Her damn lies in the morning. And she's like, oh, can I talk to him on the line? I know how this works because I listen to the show. I'm an avid listener, so that's why I'm like, get the fuck on. Why are you lying to me? If you're going to lie to me, be entertaining.
Be at the very least.
Be
That's
entertaining
all you got to
if
do.
you're going to lie to me.
all
You
you
know
gotta
what
do.
I mean?
Doesn't seem
Like,
like
see,
that.
you're a good person.
I
You're
think
a
about it
great
sometimes,
guy.
Steve,
See,
and I'm
this
like,
is-
you know, maybe
I'm entertaining you and I'm lying to you.
last night I had an absolute fucking blast. Last night playing
Doing what?
games with you, just getting.
Oh, on the
fucking
show
wild.
last night?
The
You
show
had
was
fun?
so much fucking fun last
I thought
night.
you did something after.
Well, I did. My wife wanted me to pick her up some groceries and a black dildo from Walmart. You know how hard it is to find a black dildo at Walmart?
No?
It's pretty tough.
Is it?
At Walmart,
They don't have sex toys at Walmart?
they
gotta
gotta have
have those
they gotta
fucking
have like a
things.
little tiny vibe.
You
I think they
know,
got
the-
like a little rabbit or something putting a like
Yeah, and you got to have the fucking neck
the
massager. that
Hitachi
you
wand.
just fucking
Well, I mean, listen,
blow
anything's a
your
dildo if
fucking
you're brave
lab
enough.
off.
Anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
For sure.
First off, every couple should own a Hitachi wand. Every person should own a Hitachi wand.
you
For
ever
real.
stick that thing in your asshole?
Buddy, I'm not kidding when I say I give them as wedding gifts. Now, I don't want to give. This is usually our third hour talk of sex.
You
drugs,
just
and
got
rock
a
and
weird
roll.
kink though, where you're like, oh man, when
I
they're
like-
fucking
I
themselves
like to
with it, they're
know
gonna think of me.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's cool.
What the fuck? Yeah,
That's
of course.
cool, man.
Hang on, these fucking guys.
It's because I'm so wise, says Vernon. You ever heard of Mike Vernon? Yeah, probably.
Mike Vernon. Who's Mike Vernon?
The goalie for the Calgary Flames.
Have you ever
from
heard
back
of
in the
Mike
day.
Hunt?
Oh, dude. That's just another way to say cunt, dude.
Well, Steve, I got so I was just thinking about it. Like, we get so crazy on the Monday night show. There was like, we're asking people to tune into a morning show, and are we too dirty, bud? Like, do we get too dirty
I
sometimes?
right out the bat was talking about cum.
I
again.
just had black dildo right out the
Yeah,
what I'm asking you is
we're
it too
niche.
much, guys? Is it too much? Is it something that would you put it on in your storefront if we
No.
cleaned it up a little bit in the mornings and we just
No.
kept the freak show for Mondays? Because that's asking an awful lot of us. We're already getting up and putting in the hard hours every morning. For 3 hours a morning, more dirty the better. Oh,
Okay,
Ricky.
blunt man to kill. Wait a god damn it. Jesus Christ, Netley.
Get it
Jesus
together.
criminy. Mike Roch.
Clean it up.
Mike Crotch.
Clean it up, bud.
You're a disgusting, dirty pervert. You little pervert boy.
Dude, I woke up this morning. Ancient Aliens was playing on my TV, and it was an episode all about Peruvian shaman with ancient aliens. And
Nice little mix there.
it was a real nice mix. Graham Hancock's weighing in. We got some dude. I'm going home. I'm gonna watch it again now after my work day. I guess we got Bowden Studio. Guys, tune in tonight. We got Evolution Magazine. We got the Stay at Home Grow series. It's Thanksgiving, bud. I think we're talking hash, aren't we? Did you guys make a little bit of hash?
Made a little bit of hash, baby.
Oh, making hash
Made
is
a
the good
little
stuff.
hash,
Making hash is
baby.
the good stuff, baby.
We were just hashing out some hash stuff. Hashing.
I'm a big fan of that Stay at Home Grow series. Big V knows what it's all about.
Yeah, he does.
He knows there every now and then. It's just enough. Right on, Hippie Dom. We appreciate it.
It's just enough. You guys do the right amount of drugs, say the right amount of cum jokes.
Fair enough.
what we
Although
do.
I got to tell you, it's tough to finish a meditation when my partner comes in and every question that I'm asking the meditators, he's like, "Is it cum? It's cum, isn't it?" Talking about cum.
It was like the hills are glistening
With cum.
and I just whisper with cum. The old people are playing with cum. What are you going to do today? Cum. There's a wet, slippery hill.
Sorry for coughing in the mic. Woo!
Yeah, that's cum.
CBD is hitting. Guys, Native Hemp Extract has CBD flower,
they
CBD
do.
cream, and now they got a CBD, CBG tincture.
Super
It's
Haze is
1,500
delicious.
milligrams. While we're waiting on some more of the 1,800 milligram to get in stock, get bottled and get in stock. Right now, they got some 1,500 milligram CBD CBG mixture that is off the motherfucking chains. You ought to give it a shot. If you go to HoosierSophisticate.com, click on the Native Hemp Extract tab, enter code HOSO at checkout, you're going to get a significant discount. You're going to love it. I promise you. You're going to love it. It's going to be one of your favorite tinctures you've ever taken. The price is more than right. All of his products are made with love, and they really are they're artisan crafted, Steve. They're artisan crafted. There's a lot of bull malarkey out there, pal.
There's tons of bull malarkey.
There's a lot of bull malarkey out there, and I'll tell you what. Dennison ain't peddling malarkey. Okay?
That's one thing I know about the guy. He doesn't peddle malarkey. Like, if it's one thing I've said about Dennison, the guy, it's you don't peddle malarkey.
He ain't peddling malarkey.
You don't peddle
no
malarkey.
Way, Jack.
There's no malarkey jacking around there. We gonna do this?
Yeah, I'm gonna get me some.
You want some? God!
Oh, I just dripped that right on your fucking awesome hoodie, bud. Right here. Fuck. That's gonna be hard to get out. Oh well. We haven't seen that guy in forever. I'm fucking pimping his business. What's the fucking deal with that?
I just wear it.
This is Golden 18500. I'm sorry. I know. I can get it on me.
Oh, it's okay, man. It's all okay. May need to go to an early commercial break.
Okay, we can do whatever you need.
My insides are just like...
Your insides are hurting a little bit?
You ever get that where like your insides are crushed? I think I can get through it.
Sure, we got a 3-minute if you want to.
We got a 3 minute. You think it's 3 minute? I better wait for a minute and really get it.
Well, right, I mean, it's more like
I better edge it. That way I'd be like,
get it prairie dogging.
Dude, well, I'll never forget one time I was at Tower T with George, and it's a 105-degree day, and it hits me about hole 6. I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I'm like 13, 14. I don't quite know the protocol.
Sure.
I'm sweating like from having to go to the restroom.
Naturally, yeah.
And he's like, he looks at me and he's like, dude, go. He could see the fear in my eyes. He's like, just run to the back. Go. Like, I don't know. You don't have to ask permission here.
Don't
like,
do this to yourself.
Just go.
Don't do that.
So I sprint to the bathroom at the old Tower T, and it's about this big. The room is about this big, enough for your toilet and your knees. So I'm in there baking. I've done it in porta potties before.
Hot summer day?
Oh, it's hot. Oh yeah, hottest summer day. So then eventually, I just had to open the door. I just had to leave the door open so the people at the putting green. Yeah, so the people at the putting green at the old.
Can they make eye contact with you?
I'm looking right at them. I'm looking right at them. Say, hey, bud, there's a lot on the line with that 6-foot putt. You're going to be able to face your demons, a.k.a. me looking at you on the shitter while you try to sink this putt. If you can do that, you can win the green jacket, buddy. That's how they should train professional golfers. This guy's going to take a shit and make eye contact with you while you try to sink this putt.
Oh, is this when we talk? Maybe this will help it. Maybe this will help move your guts a little bit. Okay. We'll just make this the horrible poop stories.
Just trying to move it around.
I was coming back. My buddy and I went down to OU. This is before our senior year of high school. It was in between junior and senior year. It was like a little showcase. We go down there. We stay. His one grandparents live in Ponca City. We stay there for the night. Wake up. We drive to Norman. We check in. Fucking get our pads and everything. We go to we fucking meet with Bob Stoops. Stoops. See, this was the year after they won the national championship. So Josh Heupel was like, it was a whole fucking deal. It was pretty cool. We go down there, hang out, and then after our mini camp at OU, we go down. His other grandpa on his other side of the family lives down on Lake Texoma. We got a little boat. We go down Lake Texoma. We drop 24 jugs in the water. I'd never jug fished before.
Jugging.
He's like, you guys boys like to go fishing? I'm like, man, I would love. I'm waxed, dude. We did 3 a days for the week. You know what I mean? Like it was 105 degrees in Oklahoma City. So like a couple days fishing on Lake Texoma sounds real good at the end of all of this, right? So we dropped like 24 jugs in the water. We go throw the net for some shad. We're fucking cutting up some shad. We bait all these hooks. We drop these jugs. By the time we drop like the 24th jug, we go back to one. We start pulling them up, dude. We pull up 220 pounds of catfish.
Damn. How long before you went back around?
And I would say it was probably by the time we got like the 24th jug set, probably like an hour and a half.
That's it?
2 hours maybe. By the time we got back to jug 1 and then just started pulling them up. And one of the jugs had a 4-pound crappie that was snagged in it. This crappie was like fucking, dude, it was immense. It was awesome. Like, he's like, that's going to be good. His grandpa was the most, dude, he's like, that's going to be some good eating. This dude smoked always saved cigarettes. Is it me? My bad. That dude smoked always saved cigarettes. And he drank.
Does that mean he just picks up butts off the ground?
No, it was literally a yellow pack that said "Always Save." Who knew that?
Always safe.
Okay, and he had beer. It was a silver can that just had beer stenciled on the side, 100%. So we get out on his boat. Just a simple dude. He and his wife. They live out. They live out in a real modest little fucking 2-bedroom joint right on the lake. You know. And you can tell this is how they eat. This is what they do, you know. And we go out there, we pull out all this catfish, and we bring it back. And dude, like they were like
you got to eat the heart of the catfish.
Team. Yeah, his grandpa's just fucking cutting catfish throats, bleeding them out. They get him back to the fucking deal. She's filleting them up. She's breading them. Dropping.
Were they karate chopping?
Yeah, dude, they would even use knives. They didn't even clean the fucking scales.
That's fucking impressive.
They've done it a time or two. So they cooked up, you know, obviously not all of it. That's a lot of catfish. But we're a couple big boys, you know. We spent a week at 3 a days. We're trying to just eat. I probably
each other's ass
twice. Once before the catfish, once after the catfish. So I probably ate dude, I don't know, just an unhealthy amount of fried fish. An unhealthy amount, like a gluttonous amount of fish. I don't know, 15 pounds of catfish? I don't know. Like, how much can you eat?
That's too much
I'm just snacking all fucking day. Both of us. We're just gorging ourselves like...
I burn 4,000 calories a day. Yeah. I need 6,000
I need 112,000 calories. So we're driving back. We're driving back and like... You know, we make a couple stops, whatever. I remember I even got a ticket. I got pulled over.
Oh,
my buddy and I switched driving. We switched driving, and as soon as I pull out, I had been wearing my seatbelt this whole time, which is not like me. A lot of time back in the day, I'm just rolling fucking without a seatbelt. I'm a danger dog.
What?
I'm a danger dog, bud. Okay?
Oh, jeez.
But we switched seats, and I just kind of forgot to throw my seatbelt back on. I pulled out of this parking lot. It wasn't 3 minutes. I was pulled over for not wearing a seatbelt. I'm like, you can't even do that in Missouri. What's the matter with you fucking Oklahoma Smokies? I know my rights. I know my rights.
I'm from Missouri.
Anyway, whatever. I got a ticket.
Show me the ticket. And he's like, okay.
Fuck, here it is. It's $10, dude. Get out of my face. You know. So we're driving down the Oklahoma Turnpike, and dude, my guts start bubbling, and it is an army of catfish that have
angry catfish swimming their way through your
business with my noose. Yes, they sure do. They sure do. They can't believe that I cooped them all up in such a tight little space. These conditions are not okay.
You've ever been to a trout farm?
We're driving down the turnpike, and I'm thinking for sure. I mean, it's a turnpike. There's all kinds of places that you can go to the bathroom. Not really. It's not really how turnpikes work. It's like a limited exits. You're just fucking rocking and rolling, baby.
Oh, turnpikes?
Let's fucking go.
That's the definition of a turnpike?
I mean, that's usually how they work. Like, they'll have some stops, couple stops in between, truck stops in the middle, rest areas. But other than that, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
My guts start bubbling, and I'm like, dude, next place you find, like, you gotta fuck. And it's Oklahoma, too, so it's not like I can go shit behind a tree. Like, it's just flat, barren nothingness. What am I gonna go do, shit in the field? So...
Yeah. Hey, what's up, man? That's like your OnlyFans. That's your OnlyFans.
That is my OnlyFans. I shit in random fields. That's not bad. That'll play in Germany. Dude. They'll be all over that. Just have Mozart in the background.
Million views.
100%. All right, so I go, dude, you got whatever the next stop is.
Yeah, do it.
You got to do it. And so
you wipe your ass with a ticket,
dude. It's like at this point it's starting to like hurt. Like I think my pupils are fucking dilating. Like I'm struggling.
You're almost puking it out.
Yeah, I'm grabbing shit. You know, like I'm like, dude, you gotta wherever you can. You gotta like this is emergent. This is emergent.
Legs are trying to find
I'm
a
sweating.
position.
I'm sweating. This is the worst thing.
You're
I've
in the
ever
back
felt.
seat like.
Yeah, Lamaze. Well, if I did that, I'm actually trying to hold my breath as much as possible because with every breath, I just feel like I'm relaxing into this even more. So I'm like trying to hold everything. And finally, dude, after like probably, this is the worst I've ever had to go. So I'm going to say like probably like 35 minutes after after it was already...
No,
like dude, I'm hurting. Like I'm in a lot
No, I
of
can't
pain.
do. You can't do that
I
to
feel
yourself.
like the toxins are just spilling over into my blood. This is all bad. Everything's bad. I finally see like, a bathroom, restroom, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Yes. He pulls over at the stop. And I don't see a bathroom anywhere, but there's like this trail that leads into
and your
this.
anus is getting ready. When it
I'm
knows.
moving too. Like,
when it
I'm
knows.
I'm moving too.
Yeah.
I'm moving, okay? And so like there's this path, and I don't see a bathroom, but what I do see is like galvanized, corrugated steel, right? Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like in the middle of nowhere. It's just this fucking field, and there's like this. It's a spiral, okay. So really, what the rest stop is like it's like a latrine, At this point, I don't care. I'll shit in the shoe. Like, it's like the latrine's like a dugout, like an outhouse type.
Are you just shitting it? No seat or anything?
How's that seat? It's got that. Well, so I don't even at first. I don't even know. I don't see a bathroom is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'm like, you put a sign up for this. I mean, I'm glad. Thank you. I knew where to stop because I would have never known. But I'm like walking towards it, and it's like and it just kind of spirals. There's no door on the thing. You walk in. And
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And then in the middle of it,
in
is
Amsterdam,
the
they have these S things that you can go in.
Yes, exactly. So like on the S, there's like a toilet on each side.
Yes.
Yeah, this
So like when you get to the middle, this
is
curly
just
S.
one side of it. Yep.
Gotcha.
And I get in, and it is a fucking. Oh
But the no door thing's weird.
It's the Texas fucking Chainsaw Massacre. Inside of it. It's the
No.
It is like
Candyman, the bathroom from
like,
Candyman.
Yes, like what?
Train spotting.
There's never been anybody clean this bathroom. There's never nobody. There's
from day one.
Never. This thing was built in 1952. Stuck in the middle of a field in Oklahoma. There's probably some oil workers at one point out there, fucking 8 decades ago.
Yeah.
I can't sit down. I can't sit down in this place. There's no way I can sit down and live.
Is there paper?
There is paper, so I guess somebody's been there. There's a and dude, it's the shit that nightmares are made of.
Yeah.
It's just like, because at this point I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Well, you got to go now.
I got to go. There's no getting back in the car. There's it's probably another fucking hour before we get in.
And your body has prepared itself.
My body, yes. It's already it's in flight mode.
Yeah.
It's in the fucking landing gear the engines are engaged.
Yep.
So
you're cleared for takeoff.
It's like
you're
one of the
good.
first times that I've had to do just like the mad hover. I'm just really trying to figure out like how exactly I make this work. It was horrific.
Meanwhile, there's a guy like, "Hey man, you done in there?"
Done in there? I'm like, dude,
out of all the fucking
I'm not
places.
gonna be done until tomorrow, pal.
I live here now.
This is my life.
This is all the catfishers plopping around, going back to their home.
And I mean, that's pretty much the gist of the story. I ended up going out to the fucking. Oh God, dude! It was just the worst thing. I'm not trying to belittle PTSD or anything, but like it was one of those things where I'm like, a lot of times you walk up to like a park bathroom or something like that. I was like, no fucking way, no way. This was worse than any city park bathroom.
God, dude,
by a factor of 4.
Oh God.
Oh God, dude! And I waited an hour. Like that's the whole thing. Is like, hey, I'll tell you what though. After waiting an hour. Thank you, God. Thank you for putting this here. Thank you for not making me shit my pants. Thank you for giving me the.
You shit in the woods though, right?
Yeah.
I keep a thing in.
That's what I'm saying. There's a tree. I at that point I would have. Yeah, I would have.
The best way to do it though is
did a little wall sit.
I used to do this.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that.
Yeah,
anymore.
you're gonna get your heels if you're not careful.
What I do is I find like a vine or a branch.
Yep, get you out. Get out.
And I'll pull, like I'll hold it so that way I'm leaning back. But every once in a while that thing will snap and you go right into your own shit.
Yeah, you gotta be careful doing that.
That's the worst part.
Going through some twists and turns. I'm sorry for the long poop story, Kush Coach. It is what it is.
What's up, Kush Coach?
What
How you
is
doing,
it?
buddy?
Hey, listen, I've never been to Colorado outside of the Denver airport, where
I ain't never been to Colorado, but I've been inside your latrine.
Ooh, I almost start calling it a latrine.
I gotta go to the latrine. Yeah, we're gonna go visit the Kush Coach, whether he likes it or not. Just so I can go up there. I'm gonna give him one of these.
Oh, you're giving one of the fucking crippling chest slaps? Dang,
He's gonna get one. I don't care. I'll travel all the way to
just
Colorado.
I watch his videos. He did a couple videos with our buddy Steve Geeter from Canafest. We did a little video with him too. So you're not the only one.
Yeah, I know.
You're the only one who can do
He's
interviews
like,
with Steve.
I did too.
I did too. Well,
I
maybe
did a
we'll
video
do
with Steve
too.
Geeter.
Maybe
I'm
our
the
time
Kush
just
Coach.
hasn't gotten here yet, Kush Coach.
I'm growing OG Kush too, from Immaculate Seeds.
Are you really? What do you got? What are you?
I got two blue tangy going.
Blue tangy.
A couple magic.
Magic Malone. Magic Malone.
And then what I'm really going to.
I know you do, Jessica.
What's really going to blow everybody's minds is the OG Kush I'm running from Immaculate Seeds. And you know why I'm running Kush?
Because of the Kush Coach?
Because I know I can grow better Kush than the
Kush
coach.
Your very first grow?
My very
Yes.
first was stumble
38% THC.
Yeah, I don't know
What's up,
how
guys?
I don't know how
This
I
ain't so
am.
hard.
You just put a little water on
Check
it.
out the terpene percentage. This ain't
You
so
just
hard.
put a little water on it. That's what I did. That's all I do.
Is that what talking about weed a little bit, like what is the most, I think last night you mentioned a little bit, what's the most daunting thing so far about it? Like what's the most intimidating thing about, well that's, yeah, the wait. The waiting is the hardest part.
That's probably it. No, the most daunting thing is watering. Watering's, I feel like it's one of those things that it's always, hey, we're camping. Collect me some firewood for starting the fire. And they come back, and you think that's a pretty, like, simple, like, hey, you know you need the little ones to start the fire. Everybody knows that. Well, someone will come back with, like, big logs, and you're like, I need those.
I need kindling.
I just need something to start this fire. Like, okay, you think it's like everyone's logic. Some things you're like, oh, yeah. When you try to say, hey, rest that thing over here, and it's like a Amelia Bedelia situation where they don't, like, what does that mean? That was a terrible analogy. I don't know. Okay, so, but what you're doing,
Amelia Bedelia.
the fucking watering, everybody says the most common mistake is the watering. And I'm like, what? Overwatering, underwatering? I'm like, they always kind of look fucking dry to me, but they always kind of look like they could be overwatered too. I don't quite understand.
I'm with you.
And then a lot of, like, the pros will go by weight. They just kind of know what the weight of one that needs water is and what the weight of it is that doesn't need water.
I get it.
So a couple of them will give you hints like fill it up until you see a little bit of water come out those holes at the bottom, and then your top soil will get like dry from here on the top. Then you can reapply some water, and then there's watering when you have your nutrients, when you're trying to add the nutrients. The most intimidating part so far is, what do I do next? Like, what do I do next not to fuck this up?
Yeah, and also
So-
maybe planning ahead, right? Like so that you can keep a rotation of medicine going.
Oh,
like,
totally.
Because
Totally.
I mean, our home grow law is pretty fucking
awesome.
cool. It's pretty fucking cool.
It's awesome.
I wish it was more. Just because, like, it seems silly to put an arbitrary number on it. Like, hey, you can grow this, but you can only grow this much. Like, what?
Yeah.
Fuck, what's the?
Yeah, let them grow. Let these guys.
Not to mention,
let
like,
these guys and girls
They're
grow.
also like gorgeous flowers. They're also just pretty plants.
Dude, they're so.
If I didn't
cool.
even want to fucking smoke this shit,
they're
I just
so
want to
cool.
look at it.
I know. I just look
Sometimes
at
I
it.
just want to look at it. That's
Just
all you can do.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that. I said, would you look at it? I'll hook you up with a Mac 1.
100 T or Mac 2. A Mac 2. Mac 1 2.
We grew OG Kush last harvest. Love it.
Up with a Mac 1 2. He wants to get you a cut of Mendel's breath, Coach's cut.
Okay, come
Coach's
on,
cut.
baby.
Whoa.
Look at the leaves and their size. How much water can a tiny plant pull up?
Okay.
Well, that's the
Like
deal.
your first
Kush
go though
Coach.
is what like you kind of get to know how much that is.
Yeah, you asshole.
Yeah, don't have to make it
No, Kush Coach. Here's the deal. I had a couple that I was just germinating some old seeds I had, and I was like, I don't fucking know where these came from. I just wanted to practice germinating, so that way when I had some actual seeds that are fucking $10 for a pack, I didn't fuck those up. I'm still learning that shit.
Little did you know that those like little random seeds you had
Yeah,
was
no,
like the
they're
most
fucking-
fire fucking
yeah, I know,
genetics
like
you've
purple Skittle cookies, man. And so,
Unicorn come.
oh,
It's coming, baby.
Put it inside of me. So then they grew. They didn't like their seeds didn't pop off all the way.
Okay.
The seed shell and then the leaves were messed up. So they got to about this big, right?
Okay.
They got those cotyledons on there, and then they got a couple other ones going, the coties, and then they got the other 2 leaves sprouting. But they were kind of. I want to be, I can grow 18 little ones and still be compliant, but I want to, like you said, I want to schedule one out. I want to do these from Immaculate Seeds. I want to grow these other 2. I want to just kind of do it all. That's one of the things. I want to do it all. I wish I had 10 tents just fucking going, dude. So then these, I took them out, moved all the dirt around them because I was just going to get rid of these. They were fucking, I was taking up space or whatever. I had them in these little containers. And when I took them out, the fucking root system on something this big.
Crazy, huh?
I mean, the roots were
That's
this
fast?
long.
I mean, how many days?
And there were 6 strands that each had little strands going off. Maybe a week. I mean, even when you germinate them, that fucking first taproot is crazy. It's like, okay. And you got to make sure to plant that taproot down because I was looking like sometimes the taproots will come up. And I think I did that on one where one is a real healthy. And it's weird, like out of those, I grew 3 of those Malones, and one's real little. One
These
looks
are the
pretty,
autoflowers.
yeah, and one looks crazy good, and it's like reaching high. But then they're like, there's just it's like WebMDing something.
Yeah,
that's a perfect analogy for it. If I feel like if you want to find something that you think is probably happening, you can find the information and be like, yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah,
But then there's also like, oh, this means this typically. This means this. Typically, this means, if you got your leaves look like this, no sound for me. Well, you better restart it, hon.
Better start it up.
Better start it up. Look. Maybe you got it on silent, hon bun. So I don't know. It's just a whole. Oh, and now I have these 2 that are about this big. They have 4 leaves on them, and I just started them in these plastic ones.
Okay.
And the root system at the bottom of the plastic dish, the thing's only this big, and it's got roots everywhere in the bottom of this. So the root system is the most impressive thing I've ever seen because I don't garden, I don't plant. Roots have always been a fucking fuck a fucking root. I'm trying to fucking dig something here, man. So roots to me have always been
pain in the ass.
But I've always said, shit, there's a tree over there. There's not any other tree.
Half the tree's underground.
And I'm digging a fucking root this thick.
Yep. It's going to go find wherever it needs to find. Yeah.
Like, that's pretty wild. So that's probably the most interesting thing for me, to just put it on a level of all of the shit we talk about all the time.
Kush Coach wants to connect with you over the phone. He can really help you get through the seedling stage. Call him up.
Oh, Kush Coach, I'm not gonna give you my phone number, you pervert.
So a plant that
size
till it gets its first 2 sets of full leaves, maybe 20 milliliters every 2
250
days.
milliliters.
And less if you're keeping humidity high.
See, that's one thing. I can't keep big roots, big fruits. I can't keep the humidity high in my tent. I can only keep it to about 40%. But I don't have a humidifier yet.
Okay.
So I guess I need a humidifier and maybe a fan. I don't have a humidifier.
I have a dehumidifier. You don't want that.
Thanks, Craig.
You don't want that, bud. I was going to help you. I'm like, I might have a no. It's a dehumidifier.
I go in there and shrivel the crib keeper. This is crib keeper strain. Oh, it shrivels up like
when
that.
you smoke it, it fucking kills you.
Big roots, big fruits.
I dig it.
I'm getting a shirt.
Let's make them. Let's do it.
That's
We'll
the
make 'em.
best fucking saying. Big roots, big fruits.
We'll make them. Those in the right amount of drug shirts. We're gonna do those.
And I was the transferring thing is weird too, because I assumed germinate paper towel, take to a small one. That's
Small pot.
Small pot. That way you got a little control over the water and you're not wasting all the shit. Then when the roots get kind of around the outside, you can kind of pop it out real easy and then exchange it to the next one. Well, I thought you could do that with autoflowers, but the thing about autoflowers is if they reach the edge, apparently, of their growing medium, they're going to start going into flower. So that's the crazy thing about autoflowers. Like, I think Geeter's growing a 1 gallon, 2 gallon, 3 gallon, or a 3 gallon, 4 gallon. He's got a gallon difference in his autoflowers in those Malones.
Yeah.
And did you see him on his last
I didn't see
Instagram?
that one, huh?
Yeah. And it's crazy because it's I mean, the pot isn't much bigger than this. And it just grew a weed plant about this high, and he trimmed it so it looks like one fucking bud pretty much going all the way up the middle, like one kind of cola starting from the bottom and going
Really?
up. It's a wild looking thing. That was another thing I thought was so cool. If you had a bunch of little autoflowers and like you said, just they fucking, you know, you just liked having them as plants.
They're
just
pretty. Yeah, they're
regrowing
cool.
them. And you could do that instead of, you know, like, oh, I got a perennial that kind of sits around and does nothing most of the year, and then for a little while it does something. Like that, you could always kind of pop seeds in.
Dude,
and
I
always
don't know if there's anything
growing
prettier
little
than
ones.
like where, you know, the flush right before harvest when just all of those purples and golds and I mean,
Dude.
just gorgeous colors coming through the
that
fan
purple and
leaves.
lime green is fucking so cool. Mixed
Kush
with
has
like
got his in 1 gallon and 3 gallon pots. His magic melons. And it looks
Okay.
like Allie said you're welcome to her humidifier since her garden is done for now. If you want to try it out.
Okay.
All right, right on.
Okay.
Fine.
For seedlings, just put a clear cup over the plant, and that will raise humidity. I did have Ziploc bags over it. It's just one of those things I love researching too. Like,
right.
you know, like you ever,
Million different
you
ways,
ever
right?
buy yourself a fucking like TV or a radio, and you're like, well, I'm going to spend $200 or $300 on this. Well, we do it for this stuff all the time. Like when we research the Stream Deck or research
doubt.
the fucking
Sure.
camera.
Yep.
That's fun to me. I get off on like all of the
There's
little
lots to
subtle
learn.
new and not. Yeah, I
Yesterday
don't
you're
learn.
like, hey, see if you can put mics on the Stream Deck. Watch a couple
Boom,
minute video.
yeah,
Like that shit's great.
That was great. I mean,
great.
and that's one of our things that's been. I love seeing a roadblock in my life.
And figuring out a way
And,
around.
you know, not
over
real
it,
ones,
around it, or
obviously,
over
because
it.
I'm a piece. You know, I still got a lot of garbage. But you know, something simple like this, I'll go ahead and take care of that. You know
Well,
what I mean?
And that's what you know. There's a lot of people that are trying to do. I've had a few people reach out like, "What are you doing? What are you using?" And I'm like, "Figure it out yourself, motherfucker."
We tell you nothing.
I'm happy to help. But,
Yeah, we'll help you. We'll help you.
but yeah, like it's been, dude. This has been a few years where it's like, you know, you find a couple of different things here and there to add. Hell, last night we just started to have fun with the green. Really started having some fun with the green screen. The Dare Lion. We showed the Dare Lion skit.
I love when people come in here too, and even when they don't come in here, but they'll say, "So who taught you guys all this stuff? Like, what did
you go to school
for?
Yeah.
Broadcasting." And we're like,
I know. No,
We
we're just
did
a couple
YouTube
of grown.
school.
We're a couple of grown men with too much time on our hands.
Not a lot of friends.
Not a ton of friends
Not a
and a
ton of
neglected
friends.
family. So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whatever.
Families who won't.
Dude, you know what Kush
Won't
Coach
cry
did
at
the
our
other day?
funerals.
You know what Kush Coach did the other day, bud? He took me down fucking memory lane.
How?
Well, he posted a little video on his page, and he said, "Is anybody else down with the crown?" And he showed a tattoo, and he had a Cottonmouth Kings tattoo. Do you remember who the Cottonmouth Kings were, bud? Remember those cats?
Yes, they fucking tormented my life.
Who in your circle was a big Cottonmouth guy? Mark?
Who do you think?
Jay
Jimmy
Jack-
Nugs.
Oh, that makes sense. Dude,
Say they're the worst.
I saw them live. It was one of the most fun fucking shows I have ever, to this day, one of those things like,
Did they not play their music?
they played their music. Their music was so good, dude. It was, so they brought out these and dude, this is 2000. It was October 11th, the year 2000, the Juke Joint in Springfield, Missouri, which was like, now it's a library, but it was this really cool
Juke
venue.
Joint?
It was this really cool venue. It turned into the Rockwell, and then it became a library. But It's fucking huge. Like huge by small venue standards. Like it was just it was like Pops. Built pretty much like Pops.
Oh, really? That is huge.
Yeah, it's pretty good size, right? And but so here's the deal. So like the first band that came out, the openers were this little band called Rehab.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't know. Nobody knew who they were. I don't even think they came out with Bartender yet. But like, all right, I'm kind of into these dudes.
Yeah, that's a great song. I haven't thought about that song in forever.
Then out comes the band I'd never heard anything like it before. I'd never heard anything like this band before. I don't know where came of them. But I was convinced they were going to be fucking huge. They were called Linkin Park.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, it was awesome. There's, 1,000 people in this joint, maybe, and you got dude, I'll show you the video. Somebody put the video on YouTube. The sound's trash, but you can look at Mike Shinoda and Chester, and they look like they're 18 years old. 17.
Probably pretty young.
They're young.
Yeah.
And they come out there, dude, and just absolutely fucking blew my mind. Blew everybody's mind. Like that place was it was out of control. And me and my buddy looked at each other and we're like, dude, that was we were just blown away by this thing. It was probably 3 or 4 weeks. It's probably 2 or 3 weeks later. TRL was going big, and then Carson Daly's like, introduce this new band, whatever, and they I think at the time it was, dude. I
remember where I was the first time.
Closer, I think is what their first hit was.
Oh, is that the bathroom? It was like a bathroom. The video.
Everything you say to me.
Was that the first song?
Yeah, I think so.
Whatever it was, the first video I saw by them was the bathroom, and they're breaking mirrors and shit like that. I'll never forget. I was in my basement and they played it in that Insomniac hour. I used to love the Insomniac hour when they would just play videos at night.
No doubt.
Love that shit. That's the first time I heard fucking Hootie and the Blowfish too. That was I was a kid and just that came on and I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. I'm gonna laugh at you when you go out with my friend. I was like, these guys. What? This is the best song I ever heard. Then I remember a fucking month later, they're selling more albums than the fucking Fleetwood Mac and Eagles.
It's crazy.
Is it the Eagles or Fleetwood Mac?
Eagles, probably.
Yeah, it's the Eagles.
Yeah. But so they blew my mind. Me and my friend were like, they're gonna be fucking huge, dude.
Oh, cool.
I know. I'm just fucking with you, Coach. That was the first.
The lead singer killed himself.
That was the first of. I know. Rest in peace, Chester.
Oh wait, no, I thought he was talking about Cottonmouth Kings.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, actually, there's I think only D-Lokes left, and there's a handful of them left. There's 2 of them that are dead now.
Did someone play them their own CDs?
Come on, man, dude. I'm Linkin Park. Just if the show ended right there, I'm like, fuck, that was worth the money. That was amazing. That was fucking great. Then this band
you should have bought a shirt.
Then this band Corporate Avenger came out. Okay, and these dudes were Suburban Noise Records was a weird label that had Head PE is on that. They're the only other big one that really was on that label that I could think of. But this Corporate Avenger band comes out and they were white fucking makeup, black. They look goddamn like Ministries, like a heavy metal band, right? Springfield, Missouri is the buckle of the Bible Belt. It is the international headquarters. It's basically the Vatican for the Assemblies of God. They have very big sway down there. You saw the church, but downtown is the headquarters for everything. Still probably not as big as James River, but
one of the most impressive buildings I've seen.
For a church,
shit goes.
Lou Dog, yes sir. And Saint Dog just died. Oh, Lou Dog left. Got it.
There's a guy named Lou Dog in Cottonmouth Kings.
Yeah, dude, they're fucking.
Were they before Sublime?
Probably about. They probably were coming up. I bet you they were partying that.
So they had a dog named Lou Dog, and then this.
No, he was actually after Brad died. Lou Dog became I'm going to do my thing. He started playing the bass. So This corporate Avenger band.
Lead
comes out.
singer killed himself.
Bible Belt.
Pac died. Lou Dog left.
on, man. Put some
And
respect
St.
on
Dog
their name.
just died. I'm sorry. I'm just reading the comments from this.
So they come out and the first song they start with is
Sad.
the Bible is bullshit is the name of this song, and it's just heavy. The Bible is bullshit. The Bible is. This is after Linkin Park just took us on an absolute journey, like a sonic landscape that the likes no one's
like a
ever
DJ
heard.
out
Yeah, the
there,
likes
dude.
no one's ever heard. And these guys come out and just the Bible is bullshit. I'm like, look, this is a rock show with a bunch of potheads for sure, but you're still in Springfield. I don't know how this one's gonna play, bud. I don't know how this was. If anything, maybe make it a little jazzy or something. Something we can like move our hips.
Springfield people can live
My tape, my hairy, sweaty tape. So it was rough. People were like, Then they would come back.
Guys, we shouldn't play Springfield Sucks a Big Dog.
But I got so I think there was another band in between there. But
Hey
regardless,
guys, should we play Missouri People Smell?
yeah, let's play this.
Oh shit, we should play a different set
No,
list
let's
tonight.
let's play the other one. Springfieldians can't read.
Damn, dude. Damn.
Here's what I remember. Right before fucking Cottonmouth came on, that fucking place was so chonged out with fucking pot smoke.
Cool.
And this was like, I'm
Cool, bud.
16.
That
I'm
probably
16.
explains a lot. Your brain wasn't
Yeah.
fully developed yet.
I'm 16. And then, like, all the lights come on. When they come back on, they had like 8 fucking
Plants.
just
They used to do that all the
all
time.
the way to the ceiling. Huge plants, whatever. These dudes
Those
come
are
out.
fake.
Everybody starts, like, they start walking out on stage, and they just start joints and just start throwing them out to the crowd.
That's
Just
pretty cool.
Pretty fucking cool.
Except they're laced
Then
with
whoa.
ketamine. That's the only way people
I
can
would've
get
never
through
known.
their
I would
music.
have never known. So they did the whole. You're like, all right,
That's how you know your music's good. You gotta
Everybody
get
from
everyone
here?
ripped.
on that side of the wall. Everybody from
Oh
here
God, you're gonna make us do stuff.
on that wall. And as
I
soon
didn't
as
come
they
here to
start
do
up,
this.
a lot of work. Dude,
I didn't
I'm
come
16 and I'm buck. I'm ready to
Yeah,
fucking.
of course you
I'm
are.
ready
There's
to
always a couple
go.
assholes
I'm
there.
ready to go, bud. Everybody on the left side of the room get to the right side of the room. Everybody on the right side of the room get to the left side of the room. They started playing music, and there is just a fucking explosion in the middle of everybody trying
Cool,
to
people
get
getting
to the
hurt?
other side. Oh, sure, probably.
People getting
Not
hurt
me.
at a concert.
Not me.
Here's a reenactment. Steve at 16, Greg at 16.
I love this band. Crackback block.
I made it. Whoa! Ray Lewis.
Same concert, brother. That was when Cottonmouth came on. Cottonmouth came on. That's how they started. And after that, buddy, everybody was just ripping joints and bumping.
So, Steve, how was the Cottonmouth Kings concert? Pretty fun. Craig broke my neck. Pretty fun. Oh.
Anyway, Cottonmouth
That's
Kings just
fun.
let the nuts hang. Everyday thing. How we hang.
They had like one semi-popular song.
Oh, yeah. I was.
What
It was a
was
little
it?
bit later though.
Listen, here's the deal. I need to revisit them, I guess, because my roommate just put them on in the
I
background.
get it.
And I was like, Bud, play something else. Play something else.
Well, see, I also had like a
Play
ridiculous
something else,
system in my car,
bud.
so they had like that song "Bump," and I'm like,
Boom, boom,
bump.
boom, boom.
That's the sound of the 50s while they're hitting in my trunk. So bump, bump, bump. Reefer Madness was probably one of their bigger ones. Like 7 million hits on it. It's all right.
I mean, do you think guys like that do more or less, or do they do good or bad for the
movement?
cannabis movement? And that's a stupid way to put it, but do you think
Well,
they're...
I think that there is an old guard that was preaching cannabis culture before it was something that corporate cannabis came into, and like a very select few. I never really got into Cypress Hill, and it's
Yeah.
a similar sound, right? Like it's a very similar sound.
Is it? A lot of their songs kind of.
Yeah, kind of just like I feel like kind of the same range as far as kind of how the.
I assumed it was 5 guys making hip hop songs, and then they never listened to each other's. They just 5 separate rooms, and then they just brought all of them together, and they're like, yeah, fucking throw whatever, and they're all at like different beat timings and signatures. They have no idea what's going on.
So no, I think that for the longest time,
that's the one thing I do like about them. I think they were good for it. I think
I think that for the longest time, fuck yeah,
like
go fucking Southern California.
Yeah, dude,
dude, you're cool as fuck. Like it's fun. And like I couldn't pull it off.
No,
you know what I mean?
No,
that's something you got to be born into.
Totally. And like people are like, oh, that's terrible, and you're like, yeah, dude, you kind of look like your typical stoner, but it's also like, oh, they got careers out of this shit, and they probably inspired a whole generation of people to say, fuck that, I'm smoking weed, I'm not listening to what the law tells me to do when it comes to smoking a plant. I'm gonna do it. It's pretty fucking harmless. To where, you know, if people like that didn't exist, I feel like there wouldn't have been so much anecdotal evidence of my friends and people that I knew throughout the years that smoked, and they're like, it's not a big deal. It's not like, people will be real with you. They're like, dude, it's not heroin.
Yep.
It's fucking weed. Like, you can smoke a joint and go back to your house later. Like, it's not, and you might not even, no one may even ever know.
I've always had a soft spot for fucking outlaws, dude.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I love people.
I love that shit.
I'm not fucking hurting anybody. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. I'm going to dress how I want to
You've notoriously loved rapists, too, which is weird.
No, those are criminals.
That's you. No.
I don't love criminals.
Yep, that's what you just said.
That's
what you just said.
I love outlaws, not criminals.
What's the difference?
Well, an outlaw is just someone that lives outside the law. They might be breaking laws that aren't affecting other people, that aren't hurting other people. A criminal is performing criminal acts against someone else.
Okay.
That's hurtful.
Okay. You got me on that one. You got me on that one, sir.
Hell yeah. KMK was a huge inspiration behind what I do as a Kush coach. That's, I guess, like, if you ask, like, there's an old guard that made this thing eventually become a viable legal job. Like, for the longest time, we did the Tomb of the Unknown Dealer, bud. Like, salute to everybody who made cannabis.
We're here because of that.
Available when bands like Cottonmouth and they were writing music about. That's all
they
they're trying to do. They're just trying to get fucking high with my buddies, man. Yeah, and there were people that risked everything to make that available for all of us. So
fucking junkies,
you know. And look, I don't think the Cottonmouth, I don't think D-Loc is showing up to City Hall in fucking, you know, fucking flat bill hat and fucking, you know, like, I don't think he's, you know, fucking a shirt 12 sizes too big. I don't think he's going to argue for the cause for it. He's just taking care of the culture. Let somebody else go.
1,000,000%. That's what I'm saying. Like, how much inspiration came
High
out
Society
of these
was
guys.
my jam. That High Society was a good album. Royal Highness, I thought, was a pretty good album. Yeah.
When were they at their peak popularity, would you say?
Right around when I saw them. 2000, 98.
Okay.
2000. But here's what was cool about them. Like, another thing, another fucking nod to the culture was every 420 they were releasing. That was when their new album was coming out. So it was like something to look forward to when you were going to get with your friends and blaze up on 420. It's like, there's a new fucking Cottonmouth. I'll throw that in for a little bit.
And that is the culture. Like,
that's what it is.
Sublime culture to me.
That's what it is.
That Southern Cal culture. That's what it was for me for the smoking. And then I started to learn about the Northern Cali type deal. And it's become like a funny cliche and stereotype to kind of be like flat bill hat and dude, because it you know, like fucking kind of.
I'm into it though. I'm into all of it.
I love lifestyles.
No
like
doubt.
We talk about. And even if I don't like them, I love Jeep culture. Just like taking a peek into it. I know you hate Jeeps with a passion.
Whatever. It's fine.
Harley culture, or like now it's becoming more just motorcycle culture. General, but all these little
but there's still very much Harley culture inside of motorcycle culture too.
Is there? I would assume
you show up to a lot of rallies or something with a fucking foreign bike, and people are gonna be like, "That's not like a custom shop or something." Like, what the fuck is this nerd doing here?
Really?
You know, like.
I am fascinated by that type of shit. LARPing, you know what I mean? Like all these people who are like I don't care
This
what
is my
any
crew,
of the
and
world
This is what
thinks.
we do. This is what we love. I'm going to find the people that love what I love
Dude,
and share that with them.
dig that
It's
shit.
fucking great.
And they forget about all the rest of this shit.
Fucking great,
Because
man.
that's the psychosis of humanity that's like, I don't want people to think A, B, and C about me. And then you find these cultures and they're like, oh, I don't care really outside of this little group that I've formulated for myself. That's even like the Magic the Gathering things that we've talked about. I always was like, I don't think I'd be into it. And they're like, dude,
this is what
you
do.
play this in life, bud.
Unbelievable. When you said that about Dungeons and Dragons, like, I don't know if I get it. I'm like, you have 40 wings. What do you mean you don't get it? What does that mean? What does it all mean,
There's
Bazo?
no board.
We're about overdue for a break,
overdue.
but I think the reason why, when he brought it up, and I just hadn't thought about it for so long, you know, he just acknowledged on the text line, like 98 to 02 was their big time. That's exactly my high school career. And so when I'm, you know, not a lot of people were smoking pot in high school. I mean, there were some, but like it was still a smaller crowd.
Taboo a little bit,
It was still a
too.
smaller crowd. So like the ones that did, like there were these little things that were just for us. Nobody was going to understand Cottonmouth Kings. You know what I mean? Except for the few people that smoked weed. And that was a really impressionable time for me, 98 to 02.
Dude.
You know? And so I was like, I just thought it was fucking cool.
That
Like,
was high school.
I dug their fucking album art. Their videos had hot broads in them. Like, it was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, dude. This
It was great.
I remember a big turning point in my life was we had a guy who looked like Tom Petty, like 50-year-old Tom Petty.
Nice.
That's what he looked like on my soccer team in 9th.
Oh, like as he
10th
was your
grade.
age?
Yeah, he was our age, but looked like fucking Tom Petty, dude.
like you smoked for
he was
fucking
just like, hey, man, had that haircut, and he was just kind of always fucking. As a center midfielder go, he was a fucking star. We had two center midfielders like this that you're controlling the entire game
should
if
be
you have
your
a
best
good
player.
one.
Yeah.
If you have a
It's
good
your
one,
quarterback.
if you have Zidane in the midfield, and they were very much like, get the ball, I'm
See
chill.
you're a quarterback.
Boom, here's a pass over there, boom. Start everything, and it seemed like they weren't even working that fucking hard. But then if they needed to, they could sprint back on defense like you've never seen anyone run. So I always admired this kid. I was like, he's just a good fucking soccer player. Like, naturally, I don't know if he even tries that hard, but goddamn, he's good. He just gets it. And I remember the kids, some of the kids going to my coach, and I'm like overhearing. I'm in the corner like, oh. Okay, I'm overhearing the conversation. And they go, hey, it's like his spinach. He needs like his spinach. And they were trying to talk our coach into letting this kid smoke a joint before the game because our coach he didn't have a kid on the team. He was just a fucking wild fan of soccer. And it was, got into the,
And this
what
kid's
used to be
Popeye
Bush.
with his spinach.
And he was fucking wanted to smoke. They just wanted to be upfront with him that he's going to get high on this out of town tournament. We need a place to smoke this joint, And I'm not smoking any weed at this point in my life. This is I didn't
How old
really
do you think
smoke.
you are?
16.
Okay.
Yeah, probably 15, 16 right there.
Okay.
Maybe 17, but I don't think we were driving at the time yet.
I don't think I could roast a bone and play, man, at the time.
Oh, dude. So he goes, I forget what the coach said.
I mean, I could now in later years, but
knowing this coach, I feel like he's like, that's goddamn ridiculous. How dare you even bring it up? How dare you? Here's the key.
yeah.
It's ridiculous that you would even.
You insult me. You insult me.
He was that fucking guy. Like, he was down to win.
I'm
he was a good coach. Like, he didn't have any skin in the game.
Maybe we are, Coach. Maybe we're best friends, but you're going to have to fight the madman for it.
So then, and he goes out there, and he has himself a game. And I'm like, oh, man. Weed isn't bad for everybody. I immediately
used to get high as hell before an MMA fight.
Oh, no. He can actually fight.
You are fucked. You are fucked, buddy!
What every time?
Steve always picks the fights with the professional fighters.
I'm like, nice ears, dopey.
What happened to your ears, nerd? The guy just like fucking drains it on him.
Oh, no, dude, no.
Let's go to break. We got to go to break. break. You got to poop. We got to.
No, I'm actually feeling a lot better. I pushed it down, and
good.
it's like seeping into
Good.
my
Yep.
body. It's
I like that. Just real quick and concise.
Yep. It's not good. Real concise.
Are you for real about it? Yep.
You can really find?
Oh man.
Yeah, I gotta poop now again. Actually,
Cusco just going to destroy you. That pay-per-view.
Well, we can raise some money.
We can do that. We'll raise some money. Kush Coach. We're gonna raise some money for. You do a lot of charity stuff. We do a lot of charity.
Kush
All you gotta
Coach-
do is just fucking.
No, I can't do that, dude.
I hear you.
Maybe we'll grease up and wrestle each other.
I like that.
Yeah.
No gi. No gi. Super grease. No gi. Super grease. That's a fucking tournament idea.
That's
right
a
there,
tournament idea. Well, the Bachelorette already did it.
No gi. Super grease. All right. Here's the deal, guys. We're gonna go to break. I
gotta call my kids.
Hour. You gotta call your kids.
Hour and
We're way
11
over-
minutes.
I know.
Jesus.
I know. I'd be down, guys. Fuck yeah. I know you're down to raise some money.
3 exclamation points after hearing the old
Let's have
grease.
a Royal Rumble. Let's do a for real Royal Rumble.
People will die, dude.
Let's do a for real Royal Rumble.
How are we gonna do an MMA Royal Rumble? Do they have those?
Well, I mean, you gotta throw people out of the ring.
Well, you knock them out. You couldn't throw somebody out of the octagon.
You could, but it'd be tougher than a wrestling than a.
Well, I'm saying you got
boxing ring or a wrestling ring.
someone out. They're laying on the ground. And you
grab them and throw them. I'm into
and they
it.
land on their
I'm into it. It's
spine.
time we bring back just good physical contest. You know. All right, flopping. You just relax, Jessica. All right. On the other side of the break, we're gonna keep doing this. So we'll see you then.
Best morning show in Missouri and the world.
You got that right, Jack. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do this beforehand.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna do this.
Boom. Why are you turning it off? Because for the commercials?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going to dance a little bit for the commercials.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
5 minutes.
James
Carlton.
Insurance
314-961.
4800.
Handsome.
Amazing.
Astonishing.
Astounding.
Fabulous.
Incredible.
Fantastical.
Phenomenal.
Prodigious.
Stupendous.
Unbelievable.
Wondrous.
Divine.
Fantastical.
No, seriously. He's fantastical.
You got a house.
Go on and get it insured.
You got a car.
You gotta get it insured.
You got a life.
Go on and get it insured. CarltonInsurance.net.
Fantastical. Stupendous. Fantastic.
Hey, boys and girls. I'm talking about native hemp extract. That CBD.
That CBD
Inside of me.
inside of me.
That CBD.
That CBD.
Sweet delicious CBD. That CBD.
That CBD.
Got the CBD. CBD native hemp. That CBD.
That CBD.
You can get it from me.
I can.
That CBD.
That CBD.
Inside of me.
Inside of me.
That CBD.
That CBD.
Inside of me.
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 No. Inside of me.
Inside of me. Inside of me. Native hemp extract. 1,800 milligrams of total cannabinoid goodness from Pike County, Illinois. Get yours at HoosierSophisticate.com.
I'm an outlaw, check it and see. Want a poster looking like me. Checking the swamp man for a pretty girl. Being an outlaw in an outlaw world.
Hey, I'm an outlaw, check it and see. Want a poster looking like me. Walking my hound dog, surfing that swamp. Catching crow that do the sweetly stomp. Everybody do the sweetly stomp. It's a stomp, it's a wiggle. Turn around, a little tickle. It's a stomp, move your feet. Head on down to Sweet Leaf. Head on down to Sweet Leaf. Head on down to Sweet Leaf. Dude, man,
Get on down to Sweet Leaf Emporium and do that Sweet Leaf stomp, man.
James Carlton. James Carlton. James Carlton. You gotta get your insurance. Gotta get that State Farm insurance.
You think you found the best insurance agent in the game? Well, I got news for you. I did, and it's James Carlton. State Farm. CarltonInsurance.net.
961 Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
welcome back, Hoosier Sophisticate's morning show, hour 2. This show is brought to you by Sweet Leaf Emporium. Sweet Leaf Emporium is opening here in Festus this Friday, November 27th, Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. You want to come in here, maybe you need a new glass piece, maybe you need some rolling papers, whatever you need for your smoking needs. Maybe you need your pee cleaned. That's entirely possible.
I clean piss.
Steve actually goes through. It's a whole mouthwash kind of situation.
I drink pee and then pee it out, and it's clean
You
as
filter
a
it.
whistle.
You refilter it.
Clean as a whistle.
Clean as a vessel. Sweet Leaf Emporium makes this entire show possible, and
Sweet
this
Leaf
Friday,
Emporium.
Sweet Leaf Festus, where the palatial mycelial media studios exist, and we're getting some stuff done, but we're getting some art up on the walls. We're
Looks
gonna-
good. Your
we got-
stencils
got-
look great, man.
Dude, I'm fucking juiced about it. Maybe we'll turn the camera here.
Who you
and
got
we'll
up on
give
the
them a little
wall?
Show. We've got.
Do we want to
here.
say?
Yeah, I'm happy to. Let's see if I can do this here.
Here, you want to get?
What's the best way to do this?
Just turn it. We'll see if it stays on. Yeah.
All right. You guys see that there? So
I'll go to main.
upper left, above the door, you have Maria Sabina. And I think you guys know who the guy is next. It looks like he looks a lot like Seth, but that is Terrence McKenna. Obviously, we have one of my favorite artists there. Well, there we go. Look at that.
Look at you.
Who's that guy? That's Salvador Dali.
Yep.
And we got our buddy, the rebel, Tim Leary, and his buddy, Baba Ramdas.
Baba Ramdas.
So
There's Craig's face.
that's my mug. My greasy mug.
Nope. 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 You're at an angle. You're at a weird angle. Bring it to the middle. Nope. Nope. Still weird.
You want me to do it?
Still weird. You didn't twist it this way. You need to go this way. There you go, bud. Bring it over. There you go. Now, even out those microphones. Even out the microphones. See ya? Nope. Oh, and he did it.
Shit my ass.
Finally did it. He finally did it. Well, we're not a live broadcast anymore, video wise, because Craig destroyed everything I've ever loved. And here we should be coming back here in a second if Craig didn't shut down the entire system, which it appears he has not. And we're back, everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
What you're trying to do? You're making no difference. Making zero difference.
Even on the microphone, you don't look like a complete ass. So you don't look like a complete ass up here.
I heard a certain someone is making custom glass butt plugs. No lies.
Jason is.
Yeah, that's our guy. He's a glass blower. Jessica's creaming right now. Relax.
What? Jesus.
Yes, don't forget the lube. Allie Jessica's pretty curious about what Allie has to say. We're going to have, eventually, there's going to be a glass blowing station here. There's going to be just kind of an interactive chill space.
Jason said we're up here all week, just getting it ready.
Yeah, baby! When does quarantine end?
What was that?
When does quarantine end?
What was that?
I was stretching with you. That's what you look like. We're just going to be up here all week, just fucking getting after it.
Oh, yeah. Quarantine's over, baby.
About fucking
That's why I can be up here all day.
Nice.
I'll be up here all day.
Nice, bro.
See this?
Nice, bro. Nice, bro. Look at you smiling. Look at you smiling.
I know.
But anyway, so, this Friday, Black Friday, Sweet Leaf Emporium Festus opens for good.
What? You can send them a pic of what size, shape, and design you'd prefer. Come on. Come on. Oh, God. You let the glass blower do his work. You don't come in there
and fucking start
tell
giving
the
him
cobbler
orders.
how to build shoes.
Please don't do that.
Yeah. He might measure your foot.
Sure. Yeah, he might want to get a little diameter.
Ew. That's what I got to say to that right now. There's a whole lot of ew.
I like the glass ones, though, because you can see through them.
Turn my asshole into a kaleidoscope. Yeah, open your mouth and you can you turn the person around.
I had a recent experience with the kaleidoscope that really had me caught up for a couple hours.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah.
Kaleidoscopes are cool.
I love them.
I wonder who was the first guy to be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a bunch of sparkly shit at the end of this tube.
Sure.
And I'm going to fucking look at it.
Sometimes all you can do is look at it.
I know. And they're like, you sound like a madman, Eugene. And he's like, oh, yeah? Is this the fucking ramblings of a madman? And he puts it up and they're like, yeah, that's exactly what's going on in the madman's head right now.
Totally.
You're a witch. We're going to burn you.
We're burning you. That's right.
You're a witch. Who invented the kaleidoscope? Hey, Siri, who invented the kaleidoscope? David Brewster.
Look at that.
Kaleidoscope.
She's good, man.
Sir David Brewster was a British scientist, inventor, author, and academic administrator. In science, he is principally remembered for his experimental work in physical optics, mostly concerned with the study of polarization of light and including the discovery of Brewster's angle. He studied the birefringence of crystals under compression and discovered photoelasticity, thereby creating the field of optical mineralogy.
How about them apples?
He was born in 1781.
That's pretty neato, Frito.
That is neato, Frito. Oh, he did it on this day in history. He invented it. Holy
Get the
shit.
fuck outta here.
Kidding, but Adam Lundgren would like that.
Yeah, because on this day in history, it was our president, 12th president, Zachary Taylor, general during the Mexican War. He was born on this day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I don't know kaleidoscope bullshit.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just trying to
it
get
ain't
some
on the
history
fucking
on
list.
the
Also,
kaleidoscope,
famous
bud.
Missourian Scott Joplin.
Oh, God.
Also born today.
Yikes.
Play a little ragtime.
You know Stephen frickin' Foster? Camptown Races?
Camptown Racist?
Well, it's from Tombstone. Probably, if I was to guess at the time.
Okay, yeah, I imagine.
It's from Tombstone. When the guy from Wings, the mechanic from Wings, and he's like, you don't know any. And he's like, it's Chopin.
The one that throws his... Oh, Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about? You still don't know.
The part where he's
kinda
playing the
looking at me.
piano and he's all drunk.
That's what I'm talking. That's exactly what I just described. It doesn't. Are you? Or do you know? You know?
No, I was thinking when you said the guy from Wings, I
He's
was thinking
all
of
wasted.
the handsome curly-haired cowboy that ended up throwing his red sash down and says, "I ain't with them no more." You know what I
No,
mean?
he went on
I know,
Wings.
he
He
wasn't.
went on
I was
Wings.
confusing him with the other curly mulleted dude on
Do you
Wings.
know who I'm talking about?
Yes,
from
the blonde
Wings,
dude.
the
Yes,
mechanic.
Yes.
He's in
the guy
other
from
stuff.
fucking Sideways with what you would call it.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's in Sideways. Sure.
That's the one, the wine movie. Is that right?
Yeah, I never watched that movie.
People love it.
I know. I
didn't
love
Paul Giamatti. I like both of them.
I like Paul Giamatti.
He also played Sandman in like the second Spider-Man.
Sure, that's him. That's the guy, Lloyd or something from Wings.
Something. Yeah,
I love
Wings. Was a good little tune.
I love
good little tune show. Good little
Wings.
show.
Wings was a good band.
I think I'm having a stroke.
You don't look so good. Guys, if you're not checking out the podcast on all the major podcast platforms, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Why does every time? I'm never. They just sabotage everything we love in life. You know, you ever do that? Like two people that love you enough. Hey, are the people in your life who claim they love you sabotaging everything in your life? Is that something that's happening? I still have that eye makeup on from last night.
That looks good on you, dude.
I told you the other day it felt natural, so
I know.
It's just a fucking excuse to do it again. Look at that smoky eye look in the morning.
Dang, bro. How do you?
Dang.
Yeah, dude. Dang.
Getting quite the experience on the live show. Listen to the podcast. Watch on Twitch. We need you guys to share this. We need 75 of you to watch one time on Twitch.
Can't sound good.
I know.
But this does. Get it together, pal.
Get serious, you freaking loser.
Can you imagine this, bud?
That
on this day.
Wearing that?
I thought it was tattoos.
No, you didn't.
On this day in history, okay, brought to you by Bungeon Property Group, who just wants to help you find your dream home so you can settle and raise your kids in a dream come true. That's all Bungeon Property Group's trying to do.
He's trying to move you out of your piece of trash.
Yeah, get out of that garbage dump that you live in, that heap of garbage, and get into your dream home.
He'll get you top dollar for your garbage.
Yeah, he will get you top dollar.
Yeah.
Someone else's, your trash is someone else's treasure. But you deserve more. Let's just put it that way. 1927.
Ooh.
Federal officials had to battle 1,200 inmates at Folsom Prison. There was a full-on revolt.
Yes.
Fucking, you're into it, huh?
Yes.
I have a feeling like if you were locked up, you'd be the guy that's like, you'd be organizing the revolution.
Oh man, I've often thought what I'd have to do.
That's what you'd have to do. You blow enough guys, you could get them to go to war for you.
It's in my Spartan blood. It's in my Spartan blood.
Sure.
And in my Spartan belly. At that
You guys
point.
are welcome to share your show to my page. Well, thanks, Kush Coach.
What is
You can share it to your page right now if you want.
What's his page? He's got his own page? It's probably got more followers.
It's got way more followers.
Yeah, I know.
Have you seen him?
I know.
He's a handsome,
He
rugged man
is.
who grows
Who can
unbelievable.
fight.
Yeah, who can fight and grows good weed. Oh man.
You ever been rear naked choked? I've threatened exactly one person on this show.
Repeatedly.
And
it happens to be the one MMA guy that watches. Adam Meredith tunes in every now and then.
I know.
Mike Leonard tunes in every now and then.
Oh, you consider those guys? Those guys are pussies compared to.
Those guys will roll you up.
Those guys will beat the shit out of me
Ask
in
him about rear naked
0.5.
choke again.
Oh, you ever get rear naked choked, bud? I do this with my hands. This is called.
What does that do?
This right here.
Yeah, what does
Try
that
to get
do?
them apart.
Try to get your hands
just
apart?
like from my elbows. Try to get
Just
them
like
apart.
from right here?
Just pull.
Ah, what's up?
Okay. That's called the cinch. It's called the cinch.
Nobody
clench.
saw that. Oh,
All right,
whatever.
I'll try it again. So
Well,
what
now
I
I'm
do-
going to look like an asshole.
Well, you can do it. See if you can do it differently.
I doubt it. He's got the cinch in here.
What you do is you get this around, this on the jug, this on the carotid.
Okay.
Boom.
And you're
I'm in
squeezing.
there, and now I got one of these going.
Oh, you're like that right now.
Yes.
And my neck is like this.
Yeah.
Really,
So
I'm
try
gonna-
to just pull these out of.
I don't think I can. I'll pull them.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. That was lucky.
Yeah. Well,
That was lucky pulling those
That's good.
apart.
I did once by Jeremy Horn, an ex-UFC fighter. So
Yeah,
yes,
he's
one
been
time.
rear naked choked.
So he knows what it's like.
I taught
You are. I always want to. When we show up to the MMA match, it's going to be a full-on. You're Tommy Davidson. I'm walking into
Yes.
the ring.
I need to save
Give
my
the
energy.
Kush coach my fucking business. I'm gonna fucking stand there, fucking looking all mean at the Kush coach, and he's like, "I didn't sign up for this fucking fight." And then I'm gonna turn.
Well, no,
around.
he's gonna know though who he's fighting.
No, because I'm fucking coming for you too. Bring your fucking friends, pal.
Well, no, now you just explained what's gonna happen.
we're gonna
to
They're one of our
Yeah, I know.
elements.
Damn
And
it.
I'm gonna set the.
We're not
background
gonna do
of
that.
the
We're
rabid
not gonna do
Steve
that.
Elgina, and he's gonna fuck you up.
Threatens to shoulder check, old son. Oh, you're in MMA? Now we're BFFs. It's not like that at all. I just think he's cool now. I heard he can fight. I just think he just sounds cooler now and more friendly than before I found out he couldn't fight. Yeah, but don't, I taught my 10-year-old son that rear naked choke. Stupidest thing I ever did.
He'll lock it in on you.
He'll
huh?
lock it in like a little spider monkey too.
Listen, that's real easy. That's a real easy one. Goddamn right. You either do that or you fucking grab him and you just wham, fucking lean forward.
Good luck with
See
that.
ya.
He's on you.
He's
He's
moving around.
He's just on you tight. That when you go like this, you're already starting to black out. Because when you start to get this out, it starts getting closer to your head, and I'm laughing.
I
So
just do the Nestea plunge. Oh, you won. You choked me
Oh.
out. Smash! You're fucking dead.
well, Andre the Jesus, Andre the Giant, in Princess Bride, he's got him. He's trying to choke him out, and he keeps slamming him into shit.
Yep.
I don't think you can get me off you by doing that.
That'd be tough. A full-grown man, yeah, it'd be tough.
Like him hitting me into something,
Oh, I think I probably could.
get me off of you like that.
If there was a
don't know.
wall close by,
I
think
feel like
so.
you could brace enough for it. Like I think a hockey checks.
The thing is that my head's gonna come back on your fucking chin so hard that I'm gonna bust.
No, but
your
I'm gonna
face
keep
open.
my head like right here next to yours.
Oh,
so
you don't think
can't-
I can go fucking side with you, bud?
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna switch it up right there at the end.
Maybe you're wiry.
Dude,
Wiry.
have you ever heard guys theoretically fight?
Like where they're like, no, I guess I maybe.
Dude, I was at a campsite one time, and these
They're
guys,
like telling each other what they're gonna do to one another. Nuh-uh.
and it went. I shit you not. These guys were drunk, and it went on for 8 moves, where they're like, "I'd fucking smash your head in," and the dude's like, "I'd fucking block that and kick you in your leg so hard it'd fucking break your femur," and the dude's like, "I'd fucking check your fucking leg. I'd grab it and fucking hit you with a hook." And I'm like,
Why
these
aren't
guys
we
are
doing this
fucking
skit?
with each other.
Why aren't we
these
doing
guys
this
are, and the
skit?
dude's like, I'd fucking block the hook and fucking come at you with a fucking undercut. And the dude's like, I'd put a magical spell on you. I'm like, what are we doing, guys? Like, what did they were seriously pissed at each other?
Oh, this
and
is
neither of
great.
them, both of them were tough as fuck. And neither of them, they just were straight up choreographing an unbelievable fight. Like the one dude's
Real good
like, well,
one.
I'd backflip out of it and
Yeah,
come
they're
at
playing
you with
chess.
a Liu Kang bicycle
They're really playing
kick.
some chess, aren't they?
It was phenomenal to hear. Like I remember being baffled at the theoretical fight that was happening. It sounded like when you do play those games with the cards, it's like, here it's 10 wizard points.
Well, that's what I was kind of seeing. It was like, playing Magic the Gathering, like you play a card and there's always like someone's like, I'll play a counter spell. And like that's all I could see was just somebody just oh, that's what you're gonna do? Well, you didn't know that I was planning on checking the kick, coming with an elbow.
Well, my kids will do it when they play Marvel superheroes. He's like, well, I got a beam that shoots out of my chest. He's like, oh, I blocked it. With a force.
Pretend I have brain powers that can lift you up and throw you into the ocean.
Yeah. And then it always gets to the point where we're like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And I'm like, what the fuck you? Like, there are no rules here.
Thanos gets a snap away existence, and I can't do that.
Exactly.
Come on.
It's starting to get a little ridiculous. I'll teach you guys to fight. I taught kids and adults, so kids and adults, when he stopped fighting. Thank you, Coach. I already took a BJJ lesson. Your boy Pennington took me out there.
Oh, Ricky, yeah.
Yeah, Ricky's a man. I love him. And so at my job, when I had an actual like job with an office and stuff, I was trying to show some of the people in the office my moves that I learned from BJJ, man. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to come in there and show them. So the only move I learned from class was where I get on my back and put my legs kind of over my head, spread eagle, and the other guy comes in and gets real.
He's got your legs.
It's the most sexual position you could be in.
That's where fighting's romantic, man.
And so, and then they're like, all right, now kiss. I'm like, this is an awesome class. This is an awesome class.
I thought we were learning arm bars, man.
So then the whole thing is now the guy on the bottom is the other guy's kind of like, he's over you in a dominance position, and you got to kind of grab him and then pull up and try to spin out.
Right.
So you're trying to just get close to him so they can't punch you or do whatever.
Sure.
BJJ is so weird. It's like,
it's unbelievable.
How uncomfortable can I make you? And then when you try to do what I know you're going to try to do to get out of this uncomfortable position, I already have a move coming.
Yeah, it's chess, man.
When you do that stupid thing that you're about to do where you think, I'm going to get out of this by moving my arm. They're like, oh, you simpleton. You know, and then you're like, fuck, and using their weight against you.
It's all about leverage, and it's one of those things that you can't muscle through.
No, and instinctually you're like, I'm gonna fucking
the harder you
pummel
fight,
this
like
motherfucker. It's like you can't punch them. They're like, you have to be like, punching them. Like,
what are you gonna do?
That's why I love some of those MMA guys who only need about like this much room to really be fucking like. I only need about this much room. You know the Bruce Lee fucking
1-inch punch.
I don't want to. I'll fucking send you like I don't want to like your sternum, but I don't.
Yeah, but see the thing is that he had to hang on a second. He had to just relax, bud. Just relax, bud. He had to fucking. You have to. The only way you can do that.
Don't push me like that. Don't fucking push me like that. I teach mostly Muay Thai and Jeet Kune. Oh, I want to learn Jeet Kune Do. That's what I said the other day on
Let's
the
go
show.
do a fucking week. Let's
I'm
go
not
do
the
a
strongest
week with
fighter
the
on the ground.
where we're just growing and fighting.
You want to?
Grow and fight. Grow in the morning. Or fight in the morning.
Fight,
grow,
fight.
Fight. Grow. Fight and grow. And grow and fight. We're growing through our fighting. Right in the balls. Hey.
His fighting style.
Yeah, I train mostly Muay Thai, Jeet Kune Do, and the ancient art of Samoan ball breaking. All ball focus. It's all ball focus. Every now and then you get a little rope dope, bang, coming for you.
Oh, it's all very much.
I call this one fucking Run the Jewels.
That's a pretty good band. I'll teach you that punch.
See?
I know.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's go hang out with the Kush Coach.
I'm ready, man. I was born ready, man.
I guess I should say
he's
that
not
for
so
the third hour too.
He's not done in this town
anymore. All of a sudden, he's like he's mayor of this town.
He's mayor.
I'm Lida Cruising. I'm Lida Cruising.
I was just thinking that. I was just
guys.
I'm Lida. I'm Lida. I'm Lida.
I'm Lida.
I'm Lida.
Who else is named
Lida Kane. Lida Kane.
We played this game last night.
And it was fun.
I hate that fucking thing.
Hey, what thing?
That stupid umbrella. Accident.
Why?
We played it last night.
You had fun.
I laughed so fucking hard.
Yeah, Jenny said she enjoyed it.
I fast forwarded to it this morning just to watch as I was getting ready, and dude, fucking watching Mike try to fucking get us to understand what this was, and then this into the wall. I'm dying rewatching it. We ended up getting it right. I don't know how.
I know. She goes, you guys kind of figured it out after the first round.
We figured it out after the first round. Crazy.
Humans are amazing.
He went from down in this town to mayor of this shit. I love seeing a bromance involved.
Ooh, 100 messages. Oh! Get real.
Get it together,
real.
people.
We didn't get to a chance to it last night, but we'll fit it in here. We got about 20 minutes left in this second hour. We'll get a little weird with the philosophy stuff, and then we'll kind of do the drug thing in the last hour. I also have those songs in case you want to go back to those. I know it's like it's a good show.
No, I like that.
It's a good show that we have this segment it's taken us a week to get through because.
Well, it's fun too. It's a fun little. Yeah, it's fun.
So, I'm re-listening to that fucking Aubrey Marcus podcast, dude. This guy. What is his name?
I'll pull him up.
It's probably right here on my thing. He has a school that I want to go to. The Mystery of Death with Paul Chek.
Paul Chek, yeah.
Paul Chek.
He's great.
Is he?
I don't know.
I
honestly I'd not heard of him before.
Oh.
And I listened to. He's an author. I listened to Aubrey Marcus often, never heard him on there before. But dude, the guy's in his 50s, and look at this guy. Like this guy ain't bullshitting around.
What?
He's like 52 years old, dude. You think that guy's fucking around?
What?
So yeah, like
I did not expect him to look like that.
You're gonna listen to a dude that's got,
I thought he was gonna look like
Baba Ramdas.
Yes.
He's fucking yoked. And he's in his 50s.
Yeah, he said he's older. I forget. They went over his age in there.
I'll tell you right now.
Jesus, dude. And he's talking about...
he's just now turning 50.
He was talking about, they get into the whole... The myth of death and all that stuff.
Czech Institute.
But what he fucking breaks down in there, it's got me...
Oh, he's older than 50, bud. He's 59.
Damn!
That's impressive.
He has me yoked about life.
Yeah.
His talk, because I'll get to some points, and I feel like when I lost my faith when I kind of started to lift the veil or whatever, that first layer of realizing that some of the shit you've been taught is bullshit. Like when you finally go, oh man, I'm just a culmination of all the things I've been taught of my whole life. Now I got to figure out who I am. He breaks down life and the meaning of life in the greatest way I've ever heard anyone say the meaning of life.
Yep.
And he puts it in a way where he says, what happens to Aubrey? And I actually really love listening to the Aubrey Marcus podcast because they say Aubrey so much. It reminds me of Aubrey Matthews. You know what I mean? So it's kind of it's a cool thing now to even just listen to that. But he said, who is Aubrey? What is Aubrey? So when you break it down, and we got into this a little bit last night, just an infinite field of atoms and energy and information. And it's just a sea of all of this happening at once. We have been led to believe, or the experts have said, the brain, it's the thing that's doing everything. It's your thoughts, and it's where your consciousness lives. And the breakdown of soul versus consciousness, to where the soul is the expression of this grand consciousness. So each soul is just one point on this magnificent plane that is picking up one part. It's like one blade of grass giving its information back to the root system, saying, yeah, it's raining, it's dry, we're learning that trees do that. They'll send signals to one another when it comes to communicating. Like I read something the other day, or heard something about how mother trees and their seedlings have an understanding between them. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So the soul, consciousness, the difference between that, and what is Aubrey if he's the sea of infinite energy and information? It's the universe trying to learn about itself, because what are we trying to do all the time? Learn about who we are, what we are. We've heard it before that we are the universe experiencing the universe. We are God experiencing God. Just a bunch of pinpoints on the map that's all kind of working with, because my consciousness and your consciousness, and this is the weird thing about AI, our souls, we recognize each other's soul. We recognize consciousness. Like, we've seen bodies where there's no consciousness or soul. There's a difference, like there's things going on here that we can't quite explain, but that's the only thing telling us it's real. It's not necessarily our brains. It's this source. It's this consciousness. It's this soul.
Right.
So what are you after you die? What is the deal? If we ask people, how did Craig touch your life? We'll get this round of people who knew Craig, okay, family, friends, then what they got from you that they possibly brought into their life. Because if we're just talking about the absence of my faith again during high school, I had to realize that I'm just a culmination of every motherfucking thing I've heard in my entire life.
Yeah. And done. Yeah.
That's all I am. That's all I am. Yes, all the things that I've been around, the people I've been around, the interactions, everything that they've been around and interacted with has now interacted with me. It's this cosmic web of everything happening. So, in essence, we are here to experience love, if you choose to do that, because there are actually opposites that, he was saying, this is what I love about it too. Like, Hitler was a divine being just like anybody else. It's just the universe experiencing that. That's the one thing I loved about Christianity, when he's like, no, it's simple. Love everybody the same. Like, you don't go, this guy's the worst. He's done terrible things. Think about it beyond all that. Yeah, I'm with you. There's a lot of fucking horrible things here, but it's like, no, in our basis, if you're thinking about it just as the universe connected as a whole, there's a yin and a yang, and it's just how many ways can you experience this existence? Yeah. If I'm a supercomputer, how am I going to figure this out? I'm going to send out as many little organisms as I can that learn and send it all back to the morphic resonance, to what we talked about with Sheldrake, the morphic resonance, that you're just compiling this information into a field that's over your heads. So in essence, it's just about being able to love each other and having people's souls and consciousness be able to love each other, and all of the things that we did to one another, that pretty soon when you start asking people, did you know Craig? Yeah, but then you'll get to a round of people who never met you, but they know the people you know the people you know ancestors of yours, whatever, until the whole world is fucking lit up with people who Craig has touched in some big or small way.
We've talked about that a little bit, like just with it takes everybody, so a lot of people have this psychedelic experience that like says, oh man, we are one. Everything is one thing, right? And that's true. It's the truest thing I've ever experienced. However, a lot of people, they go one way where they're like, well, we're all one, so we all have to be moving kind of in the same way. And I went the other way when I had this revelation where it was like, no. If you zoom out one more level from that, one more level from this thing that we are here on Earth, and one more level from where you can kind of get a bird's eye view of this galaxy, of this universe. If you subscribe like I do to like a holographic universe, the only way in a hologram, if there was a picture of an apple, okay, a hologram, a 3D hologram of an apple, the way holograms work is if you cut that thing in half, each of those pieces would contain the full amount of information to make that hologram whole. It's like you can cut it in half, you can cut it in fourth, you cut it in 1 million pieces. Every tiny sliver makes the hologram.
What's the definition of a hologram? Like,
what's the definition of a hologram?
I'll look that up while you.
Okay. Let me grab my.
Because a three-dimensional image formed from the interference of light beams from a laser or other coherent light source, a photograph of an interference pattern which, when suitably illuminated, produces a three-dimensional image. when you cut it in half, does it still contain all the parts to create it?
That's just the way that it works. Like they show like you can take a slide, right, and that's what you can take a thin little film and project it and make it be the 3D hologram. So my point is that in order for the hologram to exist, you have to have this entire. I'll pull up the explanation for that, but. You have to have all of the information in order to make the hologram whole. If every sliver of this thing contains the exact same amount of information, whatever it is that makes this projection whole has all of the information already within it. It allows us free will, free choice to be able to kind of shape that hologram in a different way, to give it shape, right? So if the universe is this giant hologram, and it contains all of the information that gives it this form. But it's expanding, right? It's getting bigger. It takes all of our individual experiences, both good and bad, evil and holy, in order to give the entire thing shape. So what is it after we die? Like for me, I don't fear death because I guess my vision of heaven is this idea that I have where I came from stardust, I will be stardust again. I think you asked like, what is a chicken if we eat the chicken, right?
Yeah.
Like
it's the way for the chicken to become its highest being of self if you go out in the world and do service.
Right. But maybe there's a level we have a penchant for kind of thinking that might be the end, right? That's the end. Like, It's how you project out into this thing.
When our cells
But then when we
die
get one step above that, one dimension above that, okay, well, what does our death feed? Well, we know that it feeds the soil, right? Like we know that we're going to decompose. We're going to give me back to the earth, and that's going to fertilize soil, which might grow a plant, which is then eaten by a small animal, which is then eaten by a larger animal, which is then eaten by an apex predator, which is then eaten by a human, which is like
you're
it's
eating
just
humans. Well, also everything that you taught and learned and interacted with is still on. That is in essence living forever, like saying in Evanescence. But and then DNA. So we got they're talking about DNA on the chat line right now. DNA is the code that gives it shape. So that is the experience taking shape in the form of some sort of master design code. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking. Yeah, you might want to plug that part in too. I'm not sure if I quite understand the whole holographic nature.
I'll pull it up. It's in the holographic universe and explains it pretty well. But the idea is that the way that a hologram projection works is it comes from a tiny sliver. It can be this thin, it can be this big. Either way, the projection is going to be three-dimensional out here. Like, have you ever been to Disney World and gone through the Haunted Mansion and like you look in the mirror and the ghosts are sitting right next to you? You ever been on that ride?
I feel like I have it. Like the elevator. Is there an elevator?
Yes. Well, the room starts to grow when you're all standing in there in the picture. It's a cool.
Yeah,
ride,
I feel like
man.
I have.
It's a really neat ride. One of my favorite, ride experiences I've ever had.
Steve, and that's the thing. It helped me kind of understand death, but I still fucking fear death. I still fear not doing enough here and missing my family, and still connected very much to those things. And they even go into our observation of death is at one level right now, that we see this and we see it die and we know, boom, that is death. Simple, put them in the ground, got it. But we don't see our cells dying every day. We don't see, the rebirth and death of nature. We're not constantly thinking about that. We become more self-centered than all of that, because we're like, okay, we gotta, this is what life and death is. And it made me think of, we're no more important than the ant in the colony who's just doing its little sliver share of whatever it needs to do to make that colony support. But we're also the most important thing in the world when we're a phone call, when a friend is down and needed to talk to someone. Like, it's the most important thing in the universe at that time, in that moment, for those people, for those two souls connecting. Like, that's it. But also remember, it's you're no different than a fucking ant just doing its part into a giant piece. It's those things at all times. It's all of that at all time. And now I could see where that starts to give shape of the reality around you, because the more you experience, the more your perception changes, the more you start to shape the world around you.
Absolutely. I've got a visual I'm going to throw up on the screen here real quick, because it'll be. I wasn't very succinct in how I how I portrayed the hologram, but this will help. So let me.
I mean, I kind of get it where the hologram, if it's coming from, I'm at a roadblock because I don't quite understand how they work in general.
That's why I'm going to use this picture to kind of.
You don't see many holograms yet.
Let me see.
I assumed it had to take a bunch of lights to make a hologram work. It just needs like one laser thing.
Okay, here we go. Let me pull this up here.
Oh, look at him. He's tasking on the computer right now. 2-man machine. Watch us on Twitch. Support our sponsors, guys. That's what happens when we tell you about sponsors, and then you guys go say, oh, Stephen Craig told us about you, and they said you're a phenomenal man, woman, whatever, phenomenal lover. Whenever, just, that's how you can help us out. If you want to help us out, help us out. That would feel good. That would make everyone feel real good inside.
All right, so let me now go over here. We're gonna do this whole thing. All right. So when a piece is the whole, so kind of where we're standing, you're gonna see what they're talking about. Every part of a hologram contains the image of the whole object. You can cut off a corner of a hologram and see the entire image through it. For every viewing angle, you see the image in a different perspective, as you would a real object. Each piece of a hologram contains a particular perspective of the image, but it includes the entire object. So the top picture is basically, it's a shot through this big, let me see, is my mouse over there? No, here you go. I'm looking for it on the screen here. There we go. All right. So the top picture is the light shining through this part of the hologram. Okay? Now this little sliver over here is the bottom picture of the this bottom little sliver of the hologram. It contains the chess pieces in the same way. It's just a different perspective of them. It's what gives it its 3D image.
But it doesn't contain the rest of this. It's just a little corner of it.
But it's projecting the same image. It just from a different angle.
But it's missing all the rest of it.
What do you mean it's missing all the rest of it?
So this is like one of those things where it's all there.
Right, it's all in the picture. Like, and you can
just
even see
can't
the bishop.
see it.
You can see the bishop even more.
You can't see the knight though.
But it takes
little horsey guy.
It takes all of the. So holograms are true 3-dimensional images.
Do real holograms exist? No.
What do you mean?
Real, like what they're talking about, not like a fucking, I don't know. Like are there faux holograms? Is what I'm asking. Like,
what would a faux hologram be? I'm not being smart.
Like tricking, like kind of like one of those magic eye things.
Oh, maybe.
Or like, kind of those, one made with a mirror. Not if you change your perspective, Steve.
Right. So what he's saying is, if we're looking at the hologram, the actual hologram itself, instead of a 2-dimensional image on a computer shining through the hologram, you're going to be able to see all pieces. Like that knight's cut off because it's a 2-dimensional image on the screen, right? But if you were to look at the sliver that was this big and the sliver that was this big and be able to move around the hologram, you would be able to see all of the pieces in it. You're just limited by this actual 2-dimensional computer image here.
Okay. I mean, I think it's kind of saying the same thing, that it's just one thing with a bunch of perspectives all gathering info to the same place.
So
I'm just kind of blown away by holograms right now.
So
how did they do like the Tupac hologram?
I don't know.
Do you know the technology behind that?
I-
Because that's probably like the best hologram technology right now.
I know
assume,
that they're doing a lot of stuff with like water droplets.
What's blowing my mind right now is I
You
feel
could
like
do it with fog, like you could project onto fog. So yeah, I guess they have.
I feel like
projectors.
holograms need a lot of light.
Yeah,
A lot of
not
points
just
of light.
Not just a lot of light, but a lot of light shining into something that doesn't have light coming on this way of it. Because I mean, it's not like the hologram sits here and you're projecting onto it. You're projecting through the hologram to make it appear from the ether. So if you had a light come from the backside of it, you wouldn't.
So if we had a thing that was like the Tupac hologram right here, there has to be something here that
I would think there would need to be something that gives it shape, whether that's fog or
really?
I would think so.
they haven't figured out.
I don't know. I could be fucking totally off on that.
That's what I like the idea of this. I just don't know how.
Tool.
I don't know much
at the
about
last Tool
holograms.
concert that I went to here in St. Louis. Go back to main cam here. They did this thing with these like translucent sheets that were hung in like 3 stages.
Okay,
and
yeah.
So when they projected onto them, it
21 Pilots had
was
that their
3D,
last
and
one.
It was fucking
last
it's
year.
really neat. Yeah, really neat. So
I have seen those things that look like holograms where it's the spinning diode of light. It's like a wand that spins super fast.
yeah, actually, we can get one of those.
Yeah, that I mean
They're
they
pretty
call those
expensive,
hologram. Well, shit, there's
No,
fucking
we can
$200
do one, we can do one custom. with our-
$130
with our logo
bucks
on it. Like they got some pretty cool ones.
the aerial button laser plasma holograms. Hologram? Holograph?
Holograph, hologram, holography is what it's called.
Holography?
Oh well, no, that's just what the
Wait.
science of holograms.
Hologram? Holograph? What's a holograph? Is that a thing?
Yeah, well, like
I've just
a
said the
hologram is
words.
a holographic image.
I've just said the words too many times. It's starting to fucking, they don't make sense. You ever say a fucking word so many times it just stops making sense? You're just like, that doesn't make any sense anymore. It's just a guttural noise. 2020 best holographic projectors.
They're talking about how working on scaling holographic images. Like think
Don't tap me like that.
think,
Don't tap me like
Silicon
that.
Valley. Remember?
Yeah, it's exactly what I'm thinking of.
So the holographic image, it scales with the wavelength. This initially caused great excitement because one could imagine making holographic images with X-rays and viewing them with visible light, getting 3-dimensional views of things on the scale of molecules. X-ray holograms have yet to be made, though, and there are practical difficulties with the scaling, but there's still the possibility this feature of holograms will prove to be of great benefit.
So like, what's this thing doing?
I have no idea.
You see, this is like it's like a fucking light drone.
But I'll tell you what, the Paul Check episode of Aubrey Marcus it's worth checking out.
It's one of the
it's worth
one of the
listening
best.
to, and it's pretty interesting to see what he looks like now. And so he started the Check Institute, which Check is corrective exercise and high performance kinesiology. This dude is yoked for 60 years old. He is absolutely yoked. But listening to him, and dude, that's something that I've gotten from the I think many people have gotten from the psychedelic experience. And so like just kind of where I was at is if all of the slivers, if we're all like a sliver of this hologram, right? Like we all contain all of this information down to a Planck level. It's like it's a whole Mandelbrot sequence. Like that's the other thing that these Fibonacci spirals and all of these kind of things, they occur regularly, not just in nature. I mean, just all around us. Even with our ex, we've talked about if we put a time lapse camera in the trees of our camping trip over the campfire, you would just see people cycling in and out over time. It would be you ever see someone poke a hole in a paint can and fucking swing it on a pendulum, and then it follows a pattern, and it's just we are outside of it. Shit, I mean, dogs shit on ley lines of the earth. You know what I mean? Like walk around and find it's those grids are real, whether or not we can visualize them or not. That's why I feel like lifting the veil sometimes with psychedelics. Just am I am I seeing things that my brain's making up, or am I seeing things that are there that are just constantly blocked out by?
Yeah, is it your brain? Is it really my brain?
Which one is my, like, maybe I'm seeing on the infrared spectrum now, like that's.
There's a ton of shit we don't see.
We don't, right.
And we can be easily tricked and manipulated. We can really easily, because a
very good family friend, world-class magician, his sleight of hand, like, it makes you feel vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because like this guy could fucking undress you as he's talking to you. He's got your belt.
Yeah.
Like what?
Around his neck, and he's just
furiously masturbating.
Had to end it with something like that. See, look at this. This is a laser beam. It's condensed. Molecules are ionized. You see what's going on here with this shit? Molecules in the atmosphere, ionized molecules return to the original state immediately. So this is like shooting. What these guys made is a plasma luminous body that shoots little particles.
Dots.
Yeah. And what they did is
then they project onto the particles?
Yeah, onto the ionized particles.
Oh.
So they don't need a screen. They don't need
pretty
anything.
cool.
They're doing it in the air. That's
I knew that they were
They're
talking about
using
doing it
Look
with
at that.
like water droplets and things like that, but that is amazing. I wonder if we can't clip some of that.
What they wanted to do is have like in emergency situations, you could put something above what was happening, saying accident here.
That's pretty neat, man.
That's
pretty neat. We're getting there. You talked about the little ball that's they do
That's
it with frequency.
was.
They get it floating around. They project on it. It
Yep.
moves fast enough that you can project an image on. Once you get a couple of those little balls up in the air, you can project the whole fucking thing on it. The future's awesome, dude. The future's awesome.
The future is now.
Guys, we're going to go to break. On the other side of the break, it's time for some sex, some drugs, and some rock and roll.
Snooch party in the third hour.
So we'll see you
Tell
then.
your friends about the
Snooch party. I'm going to fucking kill myself.
Why?
I'm an outlaw, check it and see. Wanted poster looking like me. Checking the swamp man for a pretty girl. Being an outlaw in an outlaw world. Hey, I'm an outlaw, check it and see. Wanted poster looking like me. Walking my hound dog, surfing that swamp. Catching crow that do the sweetly stomp. Everybody do the sweetly stomp. It's a stomp. It's a wiggle, turn around, a little tickle. It's a stomp, move your feet, head on down to Sweet Leaf. Head on down to Sweet Leaf. Head on down to Sweet Leaf.
Dude, man, get on down to Sweet Leaf Emporium and do that Sweet Leaf stomp, man.
Do you take our insurance and are you cannabis friendly?
Yeah.
And they all said no. And then at that last phone call, that 8th phone call, I was like, do you know anybody that is? I'm desperate. I've called 7 other people. You're my 8th phone call.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm crying my eyes out. And this lady just felt bad for me and said, hold on, let me call you back in a few minutes. And they called me back and they said that they would take him, but under a certain amount of conditions. And the main condition was that if they felt that cannabis was not working for him, then they would take him from us and put him in and Child Protective Services, and then they would take the other 2 kids too.
Oh,
because they were both underage.
Then
and we would be charged with child endangerment.
So they'd go to federal prison.
Yeah, we would go to federal prison. So we said, bring it on.
Hey guys, it's me, Kippy the Crazy Koala Bear, and I'm here to tell you about James Carlton Insurance.
Kids, quiet down.
It's the best.
Kids, quiet down and listen to Kippy.
Grown-ups need insurance, and Uncle James can help.
Right on.
Grown-ups need insurance. He's got the best reviews on Yelp. Grown-ups need insurance if they want to protect their house.
Yes, sir.
Grown-ups need insurance if they want to properly bury a spouse.
That's a bit morbid.
Grown-ups need insurance if they drive a truck.
Okay.
Grown-ups need insurance just so they don't get...
Whoa, Kippy, you can't...
Well, I was just going to say get in trouble.
Okay, well, it
you
sounded
don't
like you
want
were
to
going
get
to
in trouble.
like you were going to say something else. James Carlton, State Farm Insurance. You can find him online at carltoninsurance.net, or you can call him at 314-961-4800.
Native hemp inside of me. 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 I got 1,800 milligrams going real good down my throat. When I wake up in the morning and I need a pick-me-up, well, I grab my bottle of native hemp and I splash it on my tongue. Lap, lap, lap. Native hemp inside of me. Native hemp inside of me. Native hemp inside of me. Native hemp inside of me.
Native hemp extract, available at HoosierSophisticate.com. Enter code HOSO, H-O-S-O, at checkout for an additional 30% off.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Welcome back, Hour 3, Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. Thanks for joining us, guys. Tuesdays are always, they're a little tougher. We leave here about 10 o'clock at night, get home in time. I think Steve's got about an hour drive home. I'm the lucky one now. I got about 20 minutes or so. By the time you wind down, it's kind of a late night. And then you're back at it. You're back at it at 5:05 in the morning. Ready to get after it. So, guys, I just wanted to remind you of our sponsor, Ms. Marketing. You see, Ms. Marketing, what they do is they're digital marketing masters, and they're just they're helping you find the others. That's our big thing with Hoosier Sophisticate, with the Sophisticated Hoosiers fan page. It's just a place where we find the others. Let's talk about the weird stuff. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about our kinks. Let's talk about what makes the world go round. Let's talk about giving back to the community a little bit. Find the others. Find the people that are trying to see a world that you're trying to see, and then just work together towards that thing. That's what it's all about, and that's what Ms. Marketing's doing. They're like, hey, look, he says, my client, they've got a product, they've got a service, they've got a charity that probably could help you in your life, could make your life a little bit better, could maybe help you feel a little bit better. Maybe they're behind a cause that hits close to home for you. Okay? Maybe that's what's going on. Ms. Marketing, you didn't know that these people existed. Ms. Marketing, they take you by your interest and they're going to say, hey, look, bud, come over here. This guy's doing what you're doing. This guy's doing what you love, and you can be doing business with him. You didn't even know he existed, and that's what happens, man. He's a mover. He's a shaker. He's a man bringing people together, okay, with the common goal of love in mind and making a couple of shekels, okay? check out Miz Marketing. He's doing great stuff. We'll see a commercial from him here in just a little bit. And Bungeon Property Group, who, they're just trying to help you find your dream home. They're also giving you random facts throughout history, right? He's a great dude. One thing I can say about all of the sponsors that we work with is that they're all just great people. I dig them. I like the cut of their jib, okay? That's why we work with them. Like Bo at Grow Active Solutions. Tonight on the Evolution Magazine, if you follow Evolution Magazine on Facebook, we'll also share it out here. Maybe we'll go from our Twitch and our YouTube tonight. We're going to go with Bo from Grow Active Solutions. And we're going to talk about Thanksgiving a little bit. I think Steve got to meet up with Bo. They made a little bit of hash together, and pretty neat stuff. So Steve got some footage. We're going to go over it tonight with Bo. Any questions you have about growing at home, about maybe producing some concentrates for yourself, using all of the plant so that you are just getting everything that you can out of your grow. You've got questions tonight. Tune in tonight on the Evolution Magazine at 6:45, 7. Okay, the pre-reel probably start going about 6:45. At 7 o'clock tonight, it's go time, baby. It's go time. All right, you're going to learn about growing some plants, and you're going to do it with a couple of your favorite guys, Steve and Bo. I'm going to be on the ones and twos. I love these series. It's always good for a bunch of laughs, and there is great information. We'll probably be featuring some Green Bros equipment if I had to guess. And if you guys aren't familiar with Green Bros, man, their trimmer, their dry ice tumbler, I think it's the Alchemist 210. If I just pulled that out of nowhere, I'm going to crap myself. 215. Oh, sounds like Focus got into the cocus to sing a little Hocus Pocus. Guys, Steve and I just found the band Focus and their song Hocus Pocus. And if you'd like to see our renditions, maybe you'll go over to Instagram. Just check it out. Maybe you'll go over to Instagram.
Maybe you won't.
Check it out.
Maybe you should.
Right?
Maybe you should.
Maybe Yarda.
You go to Instagram.
Right, maybe Yarda, bud.
We're trying to do things in St. Louis that nobody's doing. Okay, that's our idea. That's my idea, at least. Trying to do things a little differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to make it a little bit different. Trying to give you a visual aspect. Trying to give you a podcast. Everybody's got a podcast now. What
everybody.
Are we doing? What are we just falling into the mix? No. We want to keep pushing ourselves. We want to keep getting better. Please. Text in, call in, write in, tell us how we can get better. We won't listen to it.
I
won't listen to it for a second.
Not even a
But
chance.
we love that you guys feel like interacting with the show. And tonight's Grow series, I have so many questions for beginner questions for Bo.
Now that you got some seeds in the earth,
buddy. We're gonna learn more tonight than maybe any other night.
Okay.
Because usually it's Bo. It's like woo, in one ear, out the other. You know what I mean? Now that I have some stake in the game. Pay attention.
Alan had something to say, Steve.
It's a great show.
Steve, it's time to talk jizz, baby.
All right.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Time to talk jizz, baby.
Alan's a pig. Alan's a little
I
pig.
love Alan so much, though. He's become such a part of my life. I like him.
It's not that we didn't know we were missing it, right?
We knew.
Are we, Steve, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Are we, tonight, are we going to talk about Green Bros at all?
Yeah.
Are we?
A little bit. Maybe.
Okay.
No.
Not really?
Yeah. We can.
No, I mean, did you guys use some Green Bros equipment? Oh, no. You didn't?
No.
You motherfucker.
No, we used the magic bubble.
Did you use
made bubble
Sasquatch?
hash. No, we made just a hash with the.
Oh, you just made the hash.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but just bubble hash. You didn't use the dry ice.
No, we just used ice and water.
That's hard for me to believe.
I have video footage.
The Alchemist 250.
I know.
Your hands. That thing is unbelievable.
I know.
I don't know.
I saw guys using a big one.
What is it they call it? 420. Buddy, turn your trim into gold. Capacity 2.5 cubic feet. Get out of town, Jack. Yield 15 to 25% by weight solventless extraction. bud.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me,
I'm
Traeger.
telling you, Chief.
You don't have to tell me.
I'm telling you, Chief. I am letting you know. That's exactly what I'm telling you. But
Steve, it's time to talk jizz, baby. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
I'm ready to talk. Talk that ass. Hey, you want to hear to start us out 20 dirty words you should never say to a woman? Think our guys want to hear that? You think
20 dirty? I think, you know what? It's about time. That's a water sifter?
Yeah, it was like just a bucket, got it cold and screens.
With all the micron screens, you
Yep.
like line the bucket with them and
yeah, we just did 2.
get all the sludge out of
Yep,
there.
Yep. That's it.
Okay, but when you get to the small, the real thin screen, that's when that's where you got the gold, right? That's where that good is.
293 married people filled out questionnaires.
Hang on, we're gonna teach men how to respect some women today, right? By telling them what not to say to them.
Yep.
Is that right?
If your pillow talk has been a bit vanilla lately, we'll teach you how to take it to the next level.
Oh, things 2 calls ago?
But beware, there are certain dirty words you should never say to a naked woman.
I'll bet they're wrong. I'll bet they're fucking wrong. Go ahead.
Ass. The slang. Ass. Too intense? Yes.
Well, calling
say
her
this.
an ass? I mean, I can definitely tell her to show me her ass. You know, like she's going to be down.
Say this.
Show me that butt.
Say this instead. Backside or butt.
Fuck you.
Honestly, ass shouldn't offend many women, but if it seems a bit too hardcore, opt for these tamer alternatives.
Oh God,
Derriere.
My wife, lady, buddy.
Derriere, fanny, or tushy.
If I said that, my dick would go limp in a second. If I said derriere in the heat of the moment.
They're saying don't say that.
Yeah, no shit.
They're saying don't say derriere, fanny,
Also,
or tushy.
don't sing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
The slang, balls. Say this. Say it. Too intense? Say this. What does that mean? Too intense? Say this. Balls. Seriously, man up. If you're old enough for a woman to see your goods, you're old enough to call them what they are. Not that. Testicles.
Lick my testicles, babe.
What are you, a doctor? Forever. Oh, so they're talking about the slang is balls. So too intense is balls. And don't call them balls and don't call them testicles. You got something that you call your nutsack? Is that too much too? Hey, baby, look at that nutsack. Yeah, girls love that. Girls love it.
I don't think there's really a seductive way to talk about your grapes.
Your
bud.
bag. Your bag. Ooh, lick that bag. See,
Well,
eat out, the slang. Too intense?
Yeah, say
this.
Box.
Say this. I want to taste you. That's fair. Research has shown that women who are more comfortable with their genitals are more game for oral sex, you think? And they orgasm more, says Debbie Herbenick, PhD, sex researcher at Indiana University, author of Sex Made Easy. So if you frame the act in a positive light that shows her you enjoy it, she's more likely to let her guard down. Don't call it cunnilingus. Rule of thumb: if you can't spell the word, don't say it.
Spell cunnilingus? You think my wife would marry a guy that couldn't spell cunnilingus?
Spelling bee time and go. Are you one of those people who says it into your hands?
You want me to do that?
That's what that one kid who won it last year did.
CUNNILINGUS. I was spelling bee. I competed in the Post-Dispatch. What's up?
Oh, the F word. Too intense? Say this instead. I want to bury myself inside you.
Okay.
Your favorite 4-letter word can work if the mood is right, but if you're not on the same page, asking her to F out of the blue may come off cheap and emotionless.
Written for Quakers.
You know what you should never say? Smush. Even the cast of Jersey Shore couldn't get the term to stick, so you don't even attempt it. Men's Health.
Smush?
Smush.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Yeah,
smush.
I know you'd never say that.
I will never say
smush
fucking
your face.
Unless I'm
smush
smushing it against the fucking curb.
Okay.
Bite the curb, bud. Yeah, this took a
Tits.
turn. I'm pissed. What am I supposed to say?
Say this instead. Breasts.
Fuck you.
If tits is a little too porno style for you, pal, breast is more tasteful. And incorporate breast into your foreplay. God dang, girl. Your breasts are glorious.
It's a great show, folks.
Don't say Hooters, knockers, fun bags, jugs, cans, or the twins. Call them whatever you want around.
Yo, baby, want to fuck with our penis and vaginas?
Call them whatever you want around your guy friends. But if you compliment her giant jugs when she first...
You would be an idiot to compliment her giant jugs. The play is, hey, baby, shake them cans. Dump them out, girl.
Girls like titty, right?
Ain't nothing wrong with a little
Titty. Let me see them titties, girl.
Let me see them titties.
Listen, if you're doing it right and you got the
You can
nice
say
vibe,
any
you can
goddamn
call it
thing
anything.
you- I promise you.
Yep,
You
it's
can
the
say,
way you're saying it.
Yeah. No doubt.
If you're like, excuse me, miss, may I see
But
your
I
hands?"
do say, ass would be a hard one to play. Oh, you stupid ass. Roll over, dumbass. That one probably not
Red
going to play.
Foreman, let's
That
get a
one's not-
Red Foreman
That one's not
kink.
going to play. That's not bad.
The slang, dick. Too intense, say penis instead.
Fuck
there we
you.
go.
Cock's better.
In the new study, penis was the 7th most popular
Put 'em on
word.
glass.
Magic stick. Never say magic stick, even if you're 50 Cent.
I needed Men's Health to tell me that. Magic stick.
Here you go. We'll get to the next two, and then we can move on if you want. If you got something, you got anything for this segment? You got?
I got some weed talk.
Okay, cool. Pussy. Too intense.
Is it? It's such a fucking nice and soft word. Come on.
And it's all about how you say it. If you go, you pussy,
yeah,
that's gonna make me come.
Oh, yes.
But if you want a girl to come,
see, that's the whole thing.
If you want a girl to come, you say, "Ooh, you have a pussy." You just kind of say it. You just name it. You go, "You have one of those."
You have one of those.
Vagina, call it.
I'm not.
As with penis, calling it by its
Or
proper
vulva,
name.
maybe.
When it became popularity, vagina ranked 17th most popular word out of 44 words.
You're
in the
telling
journal
me.
of Sex Research.
You're telling me that a gal's just gonna fucking lap up. She's just gonna love the idea of me just saying, "Ooh, girl, why don't you slide those panties to the side and show me your vagina."
I'll never forget on one of Jenny's shows. There's a dude who faked cancer to like get some sort of fame or recognition, right? Well, before all this, he's on the show, and he's a step husband or a second husband, whatever.
A step husband.
He's a little step husband, and his name's Brooks. Okay, and he's just.
Brooks is a great first name.
He's
I'm a big
kind
fan of the Brooks name.
Yeah, he kind of gets into this world of these Orange County housewives, and he's a little kind of out of sorts, and he kind of doesn't. He probably made his money. I don't know. He probably had an interesting backstory or whatever, but he's kind of a weirdo. And so he's with this gal who, I'm Vicky, and I'm here with my second life, and I got divorced, and all my kids are out of the house, and time to get crazy, right? So they're both like 50, probably 55. They're at this event where they bring them back at the end of the year, right? Everybody's there. It's one of those shows. It's our guy from St. Louis, Andy Cohen, and he's like, "Oh, Craig from St. Louis says you're a giant slut. What do you think about that?" And that's how he gets to ask all these questions. So he says to Andy Cohen says to a couple of people or whatever and asks him questions. And he comes to Brooks and he says, "Hey, Brooks, what's your favorite part about Vicky? What's your favorite thing about Vicky?" And he's like, I'd have to say her vagina. I'd have to say her vagina. I'm like click-clacking or doing something on my phone.
Vagina.
And I go, what the fuck did that dude just say? And so it becomes like this, this is I can't believe he just said vagina. And he's flustered now because he didn't, you weren't talking about a body part. You weren't talking about my favorite body part on this broad. You were talking about like what I like about her soul and personality. oh shit. It was like, oh, that's funny. But now Jenny makes me call it her vagina. So here's the last one. Slang. Cum. Too intense for you? Cum?
I don't think so. No. No. This is what we talk
I
about.
don't think so. No. Say this. Bust or get off.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Whispering in her ear that you'd like to ejaculate inside her may not sound as
You
hot
think?
on the receiving end.
Especially inside her vagina.
These two are neutral enough to relay the message, but do not and never use skeet, splooge, or spurt. Spurt.
Spunk.
If you've hit puberty, this trio should long be gone from your vocabulary.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I don't think "cum's" a bad word. Let's see. You know, Alan wants to try. He wants to try to seductively.
Alan.
He wants to try and seduce a woman.
Okay.
So let's give him a go, Alan.
Ooh, baby. Let me see your breasts and vagina. Careful with my testicles, girl. I don't want to bust. You I jizzed. So sorry.
He jizzed after she.
Ew, I jizzed. Alan, you filthy little cummonger.
Spurt, motherfucker. Spurt.
Skeet.
Hey, Steve. We, Oh, wait a minute. My son's in. He hit him with that dead robot.
Oh, man. They loved it.
They ate it up. He just, oh my God, you guys aren't teaching him.
I know.
You guys aren't teaching him.
I give him one or two, and I'm like, that's
maybe
great.
3.
Yep.
If it's going real well,
Yep.
maybe not everybody in the
But
room seen
people
it
are
yet,
just
but
like,
you can't do it
yay,
7 times.
don't
You
do-
can't
you're
let him,
not doing him a
you're
disservice.
not teaching him anything.
I know. I'm with you, bud.
You get it. Listen, one of my favorite things.
Stevie wasn't impressed after the fourth.
No, of course not. It was great. At the beginning, he came out. I'm like, oh yeah, work that room, kid. You can't let kids beat jokes into the ground. It's also you can't like fake. There's an age where like the fake peekaboo, like it's got to stop. Like the hide and seek where it's like you're just hiding and they're fucking just standing there and you're pretending like you can't see them. That shit's got to end.
What?
The only way they get better at hiding is by you finding them. You don't get to just like, no, don't reward that behavior. The only way they get funnier is for you to teach them that the joke has only so much for legs until it has to go back on the shelf for a while.
Dude.
That's the rules.
I'm sure you were there a few times. Dad's friends. Maybe they're throwing a few back.
Because there's so many times.
You come out, you get them with 1 and 2. Now you're feeling live.
Yep.
And your dad gives you a look like, that's my boy at first. Like, okay, kind of get out of here. And then you push it a little bit.
Yep.
And you're like still trying to give one of
all
his.
right, get the fuck out of here.
You're still like, no, watch this. Oh, like trying to do some stupid thing. And your dad just gives you a look like,
You done?
this is how you're going to choose
done yet?
for me to beat you. This is why. And I'm like,
I've got plenty of. Let me just get on out of here.
like the fucking guy from the Apollo came and fucking swept me off the stage.
Cane Shepherd hook.
So that was fun.
That is fun. I remember at Wilderness Ridge when I was a kid. All the adults had spiked a watermelon. This is late at night, right? There was only a couple of us kids. I was up in the bunkhouse. They were all down in this cabin. They're playing cards. Watermelon.
Were you guys at that
spikes,
lower
and they're
camp? All of you guys?
Yeah. Except for my godfather, he had a camper up on
No shit.
on 12, like on the bluff, on 11. On the
He
bluff.
was living.
Oh, he's always just that dude.
Really?
Yeah. He's like
Very
after
cool.
his dad was like a super prominent lawyer in St. Louis, fighter pilot in World War II, like fucking Johnny
Damn.
Saturday Night, big time. Like dude was a fucking player. They still got the house. The family still owns a house over on Flora, like over by Tower Grove, where like there's all those like mini mansions
Yeah.
on Flora there. It's like one block of just.
Damn, that's
Anyway.
cool. Yeah.
And then after his dad passed, like he took some inheritance and he like bought 83 acres out really close to the Big Piney, really close to where we were at.
Really?
Like in Newburgh, Doolittle, 83 acres or 88 acres out there. And he lived off the land, hunted what he, ate what he hunted, had a bunch of dogs, had a peacock. They made himself a hot tub out of rocks and fucking lined it. And
do you know him?
He's my godfather.
I know. Do you know him now?
He's in Florida right now. Me and my brother are looking for him.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, he was one of the dudes that was with my dad. That was the whole
Gotcha.
moment. That was the last time I saw him.
Damn.
So that's not true. I saw him at his mom's funeral a couple of years ago. And the number that I got from him, whatever, is not. I hope I can find him. I'm gonna go to his brother's house and see if I can't help track him down because
he sounds cool.
Me and my brother want to go sit down and get some dad stories that we never really got from his best friend. They went to St. Mary's together.
For sure.
And I was looking through the old yearbooks and everything, and they had I forget what they even called it, but it was like a coffee house club. Or something. And it was these kids in the 70s hanging at the coffee house, just fucking. I'm like,
hell yeah.
I'll bet everybody thought those dudes were super nerds, but they were probably on one. They were into it. They were talking about the stuff that we want to be talking about. Anyway, I forget
That's cool as shit. I forget how we got onto that. We were talking about the kids.
Oh. So he's up on. Anyway, so everybody, all these adults are passing around this spiked watermelon. They're hammered because it's already the end of the day of our float trip and everything. We've already eaten a pig. It's it's the night, wherever it's the big party. It's cotillion night, I came down there and my dad was chopping it up and everybody was always had everybody laughing. And so I walk in and I'm like, just kind of doing my thing, and I'm like, Dad, nobody wants to hear your drug stories from the 60s. And everybody's like, oh God. He's like 60s? I graduated high school in 72, bud. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, so I was off by a couple of years. Still, nobody wants to hear your drug stories, bud, because I thought that was hilarious.
I'm not good at math.
Because anybody that lived in the 60s and 70s clearly did drugs. They listened to the Beatles and Pink Floyd. Nobody liked that music if you didn't smoke marijuana. Dare told me.
Yeah, and you guys are all.
So that joke landed, but then, you just keep stretching it out a little bit. Let's see if it plays. And finally, they're like, all right, fucking get the fuck out of here. But if they don't tell you that, if you never learn when it's too much,
you become an annoying
then
piece
you're
of
just an annoying fucker.
Yeah. Which I don't think.
No. I'm talking about in adulthood.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody knows the guy that just can't read the room. Everybody knows the guy. Now, I can appreciate the guy that can read the room and know what won't necessarily go over, but it's kind of a joke for him. I
love
appreciate that.
I think a lot of people figure it out too. I think a friend check you eventually too. Because I came from that Greek side of the family. I could have shit on the floor and then eaten my own shit in front of those ladies, and they would have been like, "Oh my God, we love."
You're just not doing them favors. That's all. Just as people
they gave me great self-confidence. I got to admit, I look in the mirror and I'm like, fuck yeah, bud.
I got a great self-image.
But then I see a picture of myself and I'm like, that's me at 18 here. And then I look in the mirror and I'm like, fuck, shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. And then it becomes a whole deal.
Well, I mean, there's a fine line, right? Because you want to encourage kids to keep searching for that, right? With my son, with Trevor, he is he's a ham. He's trying to get the room going, which I can totally appreciate that. It's a hard thing to just turn off too. So that's the other thing. You got a wide delta for being like, oh, okay, he'll wind down eventually. He'll figure it out. But so you have to give him that encouragement because that's how you get Jim Carrey's. That's how you get Chris Farley's. Is you let the kid figure out how to work a room, but the room has to respond accordingly. Because honestly, my kid is that good. He'll adjust.
No doubt.
Give kids the benefit of the doubt. They don't need to be patronized. The kids will adjust. They're better than us at that.
You don't underhand pitch till they're 15.
Dude, I'll tell you what. You don't underhand pitch after they're 6. I found out I was just trying to kind of give it to the kids, and then I was just kind of lobbing it in a little bit easier, and they were all just taking cuts and missing. I'm like, hang on a minute. I kind of just start peppering them in there a little bit more.
That's the only way to do it.
That's how you do it. And I noticed that when we went and played.
Well, their bat speed's naturally quick as shit.
My dad died in 14, so my son was 7, and we were all playing crowns. I don't know if everybody knows what crowns is, but it's like you got a broom handle and you have bottle caps, beer bottle caps, and it's basically Indian ball. with beer caps. And
Native American ball.
It's Native American ball, whatever. I don't think
it's
that plays right. I think maybe they're talking about Indians. All right, so you're playing Indian ball, and but it's with beer bottle caps and a broomstick. It sounds very difficult, and
it's impossible.
It is, except when you put one of those sticks in a kid's hand. Every kid came over. The adults are all playing, and we're getting some contact. We're hitting some caps. The kids were hitting like 667. Like they were going 5 or 6. Like they're like whatever it is, they've got that thing. Where like they missed the first one, then all of a sudden, like they're just adjusting, and I'm like,
I know that natural adjusting.
And so I'm like, holy shit! And I was thinking about this because it's about the time Landon's a couple years out of t-ball, and I'm like, we got to give these kids a little bit more credit.
I know
they can fucking hit a ball. That ball's way bigger than this bottle cap, and that bat's way fatter than this broomstick.
Oh, for sure.
And it ain't making this movement either.
Dude.
And so I just started kind of peppering it in there. Next thing you know, my kids are fucking. They're getting wood on it at least.
Yeah.
We're not whiffing. Like
and it's perspective changes everything in baseball. And baseball can be frustrating. I was telling them, I was like, the best players in the fucking world only hit 3 out of 10.
They're only successful 3 times out of 10.
And then you hit 270, pretty fucking good year, bud. You got a career at 280.
Might get you in the Hall if you got the other numbers.
Career, fuck yeah. So I always tell them that, and it's hard for them to understand that. But I noticed that there's not a huge difference, because I used to have this red bat that had it went out like that, and I used to just
Flintstone bat,
crush it in my backyard, and had a big ball. But you're right, they'll adjust in their perspective. That a lot of times, if you start with a little ball,
it's as good as their eyes are.
Or if I would go for sure, and their brains processing just that information. Just that
it's like having a system that's before it needs to be defragged. It's just massive memory space.
And they'll notice that that underhand is like weird to them. It's just like natural that when it's coming,
it's easier to pick up with your eyes. Everything,
dude. It's amazing how they can adjust, make little slight adjustments, and it's a good practice in just fucking stick-to-itiveness. But here, look at this fucking.
That's like the shit that led to the French Revolution and the American Revolution. Coffee and cannabis houses are breeding grounds for groundbreaking ideas. The people that can't read the room make me cringe so hard. I wish I could not care, but I do. Yeah, it's tough.
I got 2
got them teed up. Ooh, that's a good cut.
Look at that.
That's a good cut. Drop his shoulder a little bit, but dude, that lefty swing is just. It's so.
Isn't it? I got 2 lefties.
That's cool.
I have 2 lefties.
You're gonna retire.
I know.
Keep
this kid.
Kid's arm healthy.
He needs work. But
he'll be all right.
He keeps the bat there. Look at that. Look at that power. From
his eye's about right there. He's got a. I tell you, I love baseball. I love everything it's about. But what that was all about was give kids credit because they're capable of way more than we think their simple little minds can take care of. Sure. Right now, they're new predators on the prowl. Buddy, my cat the other day.
How about that?
A fucking sparrow flew in our house.
Yeah, it was amazing because we had work to do. Dude. And you came up with this. I get on Facebook where we got work, we got stuff to do. And I get on Facebook and I hear this just a wild tale about a sparrow.
True story. I couldn't even get my camera in time, which fucking bums me out because he was sitting there. Missy's he's sitting underneath the dining room table, half a bird, kind of just hanging out of his mouth, and he's just sitting there, fucking cool as a cucumber, fucking tiny little cute murderer that he is. And Missy's like, God, get him outside. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know that I want to fucking fuck with an animal with another animal in its mouth. Like, that's not the time to put your hands on a predator, No, but I start to walk over there, and he stands up from under the table before I even get to him, and he kind of slow trots out onto the back deck, and then he just kind of does this little fucking lay down, little sphinx, lay down, and he looks at me, and he just kind of, rest of the bird's gone. And there's just like one feather just fucking... It looked like fucking Sylvester. It just finally got Tweety Bird. And he was just as cool as a cucumber, man.
He swallowed it whole.
And he's just fucking gone. Done. And that fucking cat laid around the house all day like he was the biggest dick daddy from Cincinnati you have ever fucking seen. He's just like, kill buddy.
Well, it's just so funny. I imagine him every day thinking, "Oh man, once a fucking bird gets in here, I'm going to."
I mean, dude, it was seconds. That bird flew in and like the cat just came out. He must have been watching through the window or something. I don't know, but that motherfucker jumped up inside of 2 seconds and had half a bird in its fucking mouth. So just the most beautiful little murder I've ever seen. Unbelievable.
Nature
is a violent beast. Steve-O, you know
what do we got? We got a morning show.
You know what tomorrow is, bud?
The day you wax.
It's Green Wednesday. That's right. You better make some extra pie, Jack, because hundreds of thousands of America's legal cannabis smokers are set to deluge the nation's dispensaries this week with orders for Green Wednesday, marijuana's answer to Black Friday and Cyber Monday. From San Diego, California to Boston, Massachusetts, the long Thanksgiving holiday plus stay-at-home orders have weed consumers snatching up handfuls of discounted pre-rolls as well as vaporizer cartridges, gummy edibles, and tinctures. It's all to spark joy and ease boredom, said Matt Jans, marketing head for the Plus Source retail shop in Las Vegas. Green Wednesday is the perfect opportunity to prepare for food fights with the in-laws, all-day baking affairs, and defeating the indomitable itis.
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 Oh, sorry.
What's Green Wednesday? 1 in 3 Americans now lives in a legalized state, and buying patterns for the last 6 years consistently show a sales bump in the run-up to big holidays. The Stoner holiday of 420 is the biggest weed sales day of the year, but second place goes to Wednesday before the long Thanksgiving break. Marketers never miss an opportunity, and California delivery service Ease claims they coined the term Green Wednesday in 2016. 4 years later, thousands of legal stores amplified the herd's swerve toward weed with deals like 5 to 50% off certain items.
Damn, I wonder if we'll see that in Missouri.
It's becoming more recognized every year, John Ford from Chalice Farms in Oregon said. Nationwide orders are up 40% on Green Wednesday over an average day. Green Wednesday sales run double the average Wednesday. Holy fuck. California delivery service East said Green Wednesday orders are almost double the prior 4 Wednesdays. That's incredible.
It's a bummer that some of the dispensaries aren't going to be open.
100%. Well, they don't have the flower anyway. I hope Missourians can come together on retail adult use sales and come up with something that just allows for everybody to get into this market. If you want to, corner the medical market and only have so many cultivators, fine. But I have a real problem with giving them preference to recreational licenses. I don't feel like – I understand they already have the build-out. That would be the quickest way to bring rec to market. But I don't want that to come at the expense of patients. What I do want is everybody that wants to grow cannabis to be able to grow cannabis and sell it. Still has to go through your testing, fine. That's going to open up opportunities for more testing labs. I just want abundant cannabis out there.
What are the downfalls to that? What are kind of the pitfalls?
They say that there's too much. It's
weed will be on every street corner. Wasn't that one of the deals from DHS?
Jack Cardetti was saying that when he was kind of speaking with
because I want it on every street corner. If we're calling it medicine now,
do too. I want it sold in gas stations. I want to be able to go to a concert venue, and I want to right next to the beer tent. I want to be able to buy a pre-roll. And you know what? If you want to section me off because not everybody wants to be around cannabis smoke, I get it. Make that happen. Let them sell that.
Can I eat an edible here?
Yeah. Can I buy an edible through the?
Yeah.
That's why not? Because why are we putting the brakes on an industry that could be abundant? You know when you're probably when people are most likely to probably try out cannabis that are maybe adults that have avoided it for probably when they're trying to see their favorite band. Probably when they're hanging out in the grass with their friends and there happens to be a couple people smoking a joint. a lot of people I know who aren't regular cannabis smokers like, oh, I was at this concert. I was at Dave Matthews and somebody handed me. It was an unbelievable time. You talk about your mom down in Jamaica sitting at the the beach and like she's like, oh no, it was kind of fun. Like not really putting two and two together. Like,
that's what getting high was.
Yeah, that's what
chilling.
we're doing, guys.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you think we're doing. You know.
You should 100% be able to buy 10 milligram edibles. I remember hitting a pen 5 shit. When did cartridges start getting kind of popular? When you started to see those 5-7 years ago, maybe when you started to kind of see them. Someone had one, Bud, at a Cardinals game.
What? Yep.
So we went to the smoking section up, and I don't think there was a smoking section, or there used to be on that second level, because you used to have to go all the way down. I think now you do have to go all the way down. But there used to be a little section up there. And so we went over there and hit the pen 3 or 4 times. I got ripped, whatever. Went back to my seat and enjoyed the Cardinals game, and I had a dream of buying, I'll buy a fucking $9 beer and a $10 J and call it a fucking night. Call it, maybe eat some nachos with some cheese that has medicated or something. Something that's my choice at a game, and I just don't think it should be. And I hate the argument. It's like, well, if people could drink alcohol there, they should be able to smoke weed. I just think we should logically be able to look at everything and think, like you said, the market would, you could. Weed is a perfect. Willie Nelson has his own brand. I'm sure Snoop has some.
Sure.
So when they come in concert to be able to, and we're talking about to throw back to the Cottonmouth Kings, thank you very much. They could have been marketing their own stuff, which 100%. I'm sure they do now. If they're not, sure. If they're all
partners
dead.
In something.
They're all dead.
Only a couple of them.
But 311, I think, has a weed company or something to do in the weed game. But I think opening it up, I think the only bad thing happens is, like any market, people open up a business and then it fails.
Totally.
Because they didn't run it right.
They do it on their own merit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it on their own merit. And
they should get all the breaks too, cannabis companies.
The quicker that you're getting everybody involved in the market, the less of a chance that the big dogs who have tens of millions of dollars have of fixing the market, fixing the supply chain. Right now, there's been dispensaries that have sold out of product when there's abundant medicine still available from the cultivator, but because some of these bigger partners have bought up all of the cannabis.
Unbelievable.
And I mean, there's not. We said this was going to happen. Vertically integrated companies, they don't have an incentive to sell off their cultivation, when they can funnel it to all of their dispensaries. That it just the people.
Is there cannabis that is grown right now that is promised?
Yes.
That is not being allowed in
Correct.
stores.
That's
a fact.
That's how I understand it.
That's a tough sell for me, bud.
Oh, a real tough sell. That's what I'm saying. Ooh. This is. I'm watching my best friend who hasn't fucking grown anything is now underway, seeing how you're going to do it. You're going to grow great medicine. You're going to grow anything better than you would have bought in 2005 when you were in your fucking early 20s.
Oh,
you're going to grow back.
Sure.
You are going to do that. And back then, it was the heater, oh my God. Every now I used to sell them Beasters, bud. Way back in the day.
Yeah, BC buds.
They were the jam because
only like 8 seeds in a nug.
Everybody's still got that brick. You mean to tell me you got some fluffy nugs, man? Okay, it's a great little bargain.
Like lime green.
And then every
looking.
now and then, I get to treat myself. To a real $60 an eighth bag from NoCal.
And now we're able to grow it.
And now we can grow it right here at home. It's exciting times, and I feel like so. One thing is I did not like the rec bill that was put forth. I thought one of there's been a couple of highlights to my 2020, getting married being one of them, and having a fucking blast with all of my loved ones at Cotillion, and there's been some great moments throughout 2020. Yeah, no doubt. But also that bill probably would have passed. That petition probably would have passed, and I don't think it was very good. And
Had a lot to be desired.
And it gives us a lot of time. It felt rushed.
It doesn't. We need to get on it now.
But what I'm saying is it gives us until 22 for some other people, for some other players, for everybody that was dejected and rejected for their licenses, who have spent tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, on plans. If all of those people banded together, we could get something really, really special going that would get more quality cannabis being grown in Missouri. And we've got to work on this. If anybody finds themselves on the right side of the political spectrum, this is the perfect opportunity to flex on your elected representatives and saying, hey, remember when you used to come and knock on my door and tell me that we were going to limit government and a free market is the best market?
Well, here it is.
This is it right here. Nothing that you can legalize today is going to have as profound of an economic impact as this crop right here. So let me ask you something, small government, liberty-minded, free market Republican. What is it that you support? Let me just ask you that. And that is something that we should be able to logically get behind, if that's where you're coming from.
But it's
if you don't feel like you're being represented by maybe you don't vote for Republicans, but you are represented by a Republican, then use that line of questioning and say, okay, look, I find myself on the left side of the political spectrum. Show me what a free market can do. Show me why your idea is right, because I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to apply your economic ideology to my social libertarian ideology. You can apply it together.
Here we go.
And let's go together towards a more beautiful, more
That's
abundant,
what's missing.
a richer Missouri. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And that's not a hard sell, guys.
No. It's the logic is bringing us all there too.
Yep.
The logic of every damn study. And the Grow series had the mayor, Quentin Lucas from KC on there, like signing bills. Like this is what we should do. This is what we need to do. When what we're seeing with the cannabis industry and how it's helping people become a medicine, and how we're getting to this point where it's like all of the studies say it's good. And the studies that haven't been done yet, that they need to see more research, well, the proof is in the pudding that then we need to do more research. Let's go and make Missouri the place where we want that. We cultivate that. We're still not like, let's we just have dispensaries and you can buy weed in a luxury dispensary now. Is that not good enough for you?
Nope.
No. I want Missouri to be the mecca. And I know Colorado and California are, these known places, Canada, all these places have come before us. That's great. But now that it's here, I want to take everything that's happened and what we know is going to happen with the rest of the states, take that and build a culture here where it is medicine first. Because always from the beginning it was like, hey man, it's legal for AIDS patients so they can kind of get a thing of life, and then for cancer, but really people are just trying to get fucking high. And it's like, are you sure?
Yeah, maybe it's actually helping them.
Are you sure about that? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, and then some of the laws would even get passed, and you're like, still murmurs of people just want to get high, man. And yes, they're absolutely right. But also, people need this shit to live. That's the most... When I think about growing and thinking about if I needed those plants to grow fucking medicine for me, I can't be fucking around.
I agree.
That's what makes me more nervous than anything for those people.
What happens if you lose a crop? It's entirely possible.
Devastating.
That throws an entire
and
growth
logically,
cycle out.
We can figure out ways around that where we have the best. That's the one thing about this industry. It's kind of like food. Like restaurateurs, a lot of the people who are chefs, it's their fucking life, man. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're giving meals away for free, but they'll be glad to bring their food truck to an event that they're serving up some food, and they're always willing to kind of give that gift to people. That's what they think. It's kind of the way of the world when you have like a town. Musicians, I mean, they're going to get paid and shit, but a lot of them will fucking play just to make people sing and have a good time. Like, it's just giving that back. And the growers the people that I've come in contact with from taking a picture of my tent. I'm like, oh, here's
Everybody's
a little,
trying to give
here's a
you
little
some-
niche
Yep.
here, and everybody's like, here's what you need to do. That's why we want to do like a little grower series where
it's gonna
we
be
just
great.
cultivate some of the
good.
some of the personalities
right
here.
here, we're
Some of the personalities in Missouri, where I don't care if you came from Missouri, and I want to also hear what can we do the best logically. What do we do the best to figure it out? California's been doing it for a while. Colorado's been doing it for a while. These places have been doing it for a
Alaska's
while.
been doing it for a
Oregon,
while. Yeah.
Washington. Who's your best? Okay, give me a few of those guys. Now Missouri, you got some new guys and some guys who have been doing it for a long time, quote unquote. I don't know what we can and can't say about I've been growing for 20 years. How do you put that on a resume in Missouri? I've been growing for 25 years in Missouri. Where? International waters. What the fuck do you say at that point? So it's still all that stupid shit. But how the best way you make something happen is by bringing all those minds together. And now we can with this fucking stupid camera and these microphones and wet tipped microphones here. And so that's what we kind of want to do. We want to bring some growers together possibly and share some information. People have been doing it since the dawn of fucking time.
No doubt.
They've been finding it in China. The emperors buried with shrouds of cannabis and all this different stuff. It's been around forever. So I don't want to pretend like I'm the guy saying, check out the new industry in Missouri. I want to learn from the oldest of the OGs. You know what I mean? Like that's fun to me. That's cool to see people who, and I have nothing but respect for fucking people who have put their fucking life on the line for that. Like we were talking about outlaws earlier, like people who have straight up put their livelihood on the line. I know some of them are making really good money, and like I'm not sure if a lot of them understood the impact they were going to have. Where I grew so much that there's no amount of agents that could stop some of those people in the Emerald Triangle. What were they going to do? Fly a helicopter over the entire forest?
Sure.
How many helicopters are you going to fly? And then 2 or 3 of those enormous crows make it out, and you're like, okay, well,
it's the whole thing.
It all got shipped out. Good luck finding it now, But that's where the war on drugs has a budget.
Right.
And everything is to feed the beast of the budget and the war on drugs. That's why. What about a shift from all of these police unions? Would you be interested in something like a police union? The people trying to keep weed illegal, offering an olive branch somehow as not access to the fuck that. That's a stupid idea.
Well, no, I think I understand what you're saying.
That's going to have to change.
Look,
and I wonder how you do that.
I think that for the same reason that MAPS was smart for how they went about MDMA research, first responders and veterans are the olive branch. They are the go-between. They are the people that came from these ranks.
You'd hope so, but they're
still people.
We're still fighting the 22
I
veterans a day.
am not.
Like,
I'm
what
not
the
convinced.
fuck,
I'm
man?
not convinced that there's people that make things happen. There's people that helped make our legislation happen, who are absolutely stand to win with less people getting into the business. The more people get in the business, the less money there is in it for each of the license winner. As it is, they're going to serve a smaller area. People are going to, they're going to have a place that's closer to them, that's more convenient, and there's going to be so much product that the prices are inevitably going to be lower. So there is definitely, I'm not saying that this is everybody, because I know that there are some license winners that want open licensing just on merit, like on just by their own. This is their ideology. I can respect that, because they do stand to make a lot less money. Their profits do stand to take a hit.
I think about the same if you're doing it right.
But that's the thing, is all of a sudden you can make it more about the experience of shopping with your business. You can do the things that set you apart as a business person. You can offer experience that makes people want to buy cannabis from you. That it doesn't matter. The market will fix itself as far as the pricing. It'll settle on the right price for the amount of cannabis that's available.
If I asked someone from Oregon, Washington, California, Colorado, if you ask them, and I would love to do this, are the cultivators price gouging right now?
I mean, yeah, I mean, to an extent. I don't know if they're gouging. I think that they're, until they're at a point that they're in the black, I don't know that they're gouging, but yes, like there is also a premium just attached to it being a new legal thing, like for people.
I
to
get
buy.
that, but since it's medicine, you would hope that they would.
Yeah, that's the challenge. I mean,
they would say, "Here's what our projections."
It's kind of a fixed price, yeah.
Like I just, it fucks me up because it's like, I know how the board meetings work. And
there haven't been enough crops.
Work.
There hasn't been enough product on the shelf for them to really be gouging because there's just not enough yet.
Well, I just want a justification.
There will be a point when the rotation is now like we should be getting to that point now, which there's still only a couple of cultivators that have had crops come out. But we're getting to a point where that rotation should start to be circular, and then it would be gouging if they're holding it there. There just hasn't been enough there.
I accept it. I accept this excuse or this reasoning when they say, Steve, it's a new thing. It's just how economics works. This is just the way it is, buddy, when you have a market. It's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is.
But I say, yes, I'm with you, but not this. This is medicine. So I know how boardrooms and board meetings work. You have your projections of how much you're probably going to get per pound. I just wish someone could and I'm open to it, say, well, Steve, here's why we have to charge $4,500 at the beginning now to make sense for $1,850 at the end here, because it does seem a little extreme. It wasn't like $1,850 to $2,100. Like, oh, well, we someone offered us a little bit more. We know it's medicine, but we also made a little bit. They made a little bit. I feel like they go highest motherfucking bidder
no doubt
in the room because weed, and it's like I get that, but not with this, not with medicine, not when people. Again, it goes back to. People just want to get high, Steve-O. Who cares who gets it to them when they get it? Who cares? They're buying a pre-roll. You think that's medicine for them? Like, we need RSO. We need edibles. We need all that shit quick, too. Are there any manufacturers with their commencement?
Just yesterday, I believe Clover got their MIP.
Which I saw an interesting exchange on the Clover Facebook talking about how they're kind of a national brand, but one of those kind of where you structure your business. I'm this business, but under this business. So it's kind of it'll be interesting to see when everything's running and these first batch of licenses even kind of get sold and given back, and when the new people enter the market, maybe after some of these lawsuits, who's running what? Really?
No doubt.
No
doubt.
Who's. Because there's big cannabis companies that we've never really heard of that are going to be like, oh, yeah, you never heard of Cookies? It's like a whole thing with all these. Because we're the 33rd state, 31st or 33rd. This has been happening for a long time. And we think we have some snakes in the grass in Missouri.
Yeah, it's all interconnected.
It's everywhere, man.
It's all interconnected.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
I'm into it. I'll give you one last. Give it
to me, old Robin Williams.
This day in history, just because I think that this is just insane. In 1995, on this day in history, Ireland voted 50.28% to 49.72% to end a 70-year-old ban on divorce. You couldn't get divorced since 1925 until 1995. 70 years. And dude, look how close it was. Razor thin. 50.28% to 49.72%.
Why is that?
They're just power Catholics and Protestants, man. And the thing is
you don't get divorced.
You just don't get divorced, man. God will punch you into the sun. That's why do you think they drink so much?
You get divorced before in 1994.
Not in Ireland.
Get on somewhere.
Not legally, pal.
Oh my God, that's
That's
to
the
death
deal.
do you apart. That's
That's
what
the
people
deal.
our age don't get either. You know what I mean?
We've come a long way.
Yeah.
We're coming a long way.
We're coming.
We're coming a lot. Buckets. Steve-O, I feel like we're gaining momentum, but we got to save something for tomorrow, pal.
And tonight.
And oh yeah, we got Bo tonight. Jesus. We're going to be live 3 times for 3 hours each for like inside of 24 hours. Is that the deal? Guys, tune in tonight. The Evolution Magazine. If you're on Twitch, you can find it on Hoosier Sophisticate, Mycelial Media on YouTube. We're going to talk with Bo from Grow Active Solutions, our newest sponsor. He's awesome. He know hydro. Bo know how to grow.
Immaculate Seeds.
Immaculate Seeds.
I'm
Bud.
running some OG Cushes.
You running some OG Cushes from Immaculate Seeds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. It doesn't really go. It doesn't really.
Adam Bundren wants to help you buy your dream home. He's
Does
just
he?
trying to make you a little bit happier. He's trying to help you find your peace.
Adam Bundren.
Adam Bundren. Bundren Property Group. They're open 24 hours a day. You can give them a call at any time.
Thanks to him, we had 1 million views on our show.
Yep, when he came in.
When he came in,
Yep,
a
and he
million
gave
views.
he gave his speech.
God, it was good.
It was a good speech.
It was really
It was
good.
a really good speech.
It's up there with like Jocko.
Yeah, Jocko, no doubt. Newt Rockney.
Gary V.
Yeah, and Gary V.
He's just like right up there.
Jocko,
with
Newt Rockney, Gary V. That's pretty much
yeah.
it. That's your holy triumvirate. Tony Robbins, kind of.
Who do you think we should add to the wall?
Guys, you saw the pictures.
I'll punch you in the head if you say someone dumb.
Maria Sabina, Terrence McKenna, Ram Dass, Tim Leary, Salvador Dali. We've got two more that are going up. I don't know if I should tell them or just let them see them. But I've got a real cool Albert Hoffman that's going to go up there. Ooh. It's going to be bad to the bone, dude. And then I've got a really neat Ann and Sasha Shulgin, Alexander Shulgin.
You said you want to do Carrot Top. Put Carrot Top.
Carrot Top. But the thing is I can't fit his box of props up there. We don't have enough wall space.
How about we're talking about Duncan Trussell maybe?
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, Duncan would be good. Maybe Aubrey. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Duncan's just put. Oh yeah, we talked about what we were gonna put on.
Crow milk salesman.
Crow cum.
Crowcum.
Guys,
have you ever heard the song "Hocus Pocus" by Focus? It's unbelievable.
We'll play it for you on Instagram.
If you get on Instagram, you can see Steve. Dude, I fast forwarded in the song because we never made it past 1:17. We were laughing too hard. I fast forwarded the second verse. Did you know there was a second verse?
We listened to it last night.
Yeah, I know. Did you know there was a second verse?
I listened to the one in my car, and it's different than that one. He does a whole live version. That
was live in '73.
You have to listen to that.
That was live
version.
in '73. Yeah, you don't want to hear the album version.
So much Cocus.
Hocus Pocus did a lot of Cocus before they recorded Focus.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Let's do it. You know, every day we just tell you the important things. Be, just be right here. Try and reflect love into this infinite universe. I had a whole thing about all of us being mirrors in your. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll build on your subject of the universe. But more than anything, probably the most important thing we can tell you is cowabunga.
Rock and roll on your day today.
Go suck the day's dick, man.
Oh, no.